Hello. Hi. It's me. I'm still grabbing some stuff. And I actually don't have full water. So let me fill up my water again really quick. 1 second. Okay, I have actual water now. Yippee! Um Let me pull up the game. How are you doing, Wolf? Hello. I'm going to play. Oh my god, I still have Wordle. Hold on. I'm gonna do the Wordle really quick first because I opened it and then forgot to do it. Hello. That's good. Let me see. I'm not gonna put the Wordle on stream because of spoiler reasons, but you know. Hold on. Let me make us not sit in silence. Machine Love, come here. That's good to hear. Today we're gonna play of the Devil. We also maybe turn down Firefox audio because it doesn't need to be so loud. Which is a game where you are playing as a lawyer and trying to get your client to not be, you know, got for the murder that they supposedly did, because it's 2086 and everyone who gets put on trial clearly is guilty. Because of the fact that I do Wordle in what's it called? Discord. That's kind of meaning that I'm not doing that much on stream. You know what? Wordle can wait. Wordle can wait. I'm closing the Wordle. No more Wordle. We've killed Wordle. Okay. Alrighty, let me get this up really quick. I think that when for this game specifically, when I switch tabs at all, I think it just does not record or start. So it's been kind of on the same thing for a bit. Let me wait, hold on. This needs to be, where is transform? Let us reset the transform on this, I think. Yeah, there we go. This is a work of fiction. Alrighty. Let's get into it. I have had this in I had the Steam demo in my library for 5 ever, and I did not do it. What do you mean scary? It's been 2 seconds. Let me check audio. Yeah, whenever I tab out it'll explode a little bit. They have a windowless. Well, for legal purposes, all of this is about being very legal about it. Ooh, that's an interesting sound effect. Okay. Unless it's especially bad, it's for legal purposes. You're playing as a lawyer. You gotta have it be like that. Full screen window. Okay. Let's see, is this solving it? Yeah, it solved it. Awesome. Skip mode, read only, text reveal. Let's put that up. Yeah, legal purposes. Come on now, this is a 2086. Nobody's Alright, sure. Proceeds to do all sorts of atrocities. Don't even worry about it. Look at the pretty art. Don't even worry about it. Okay, I think that's about it. So there's, oh wait, oh my god, there's an episode 0. How long do we think episode 0 is going to be? Because I knew that there was a demo, and then I didn't realize that, oh, I haven't opened this. It's been sitting in my Steam library forever. Let's do episode 0. Let's go in order. Yippee. Yeah, we do this anyway, and hopefully... Oh god. We're just going into it. And hopefully it doesn't take too long, because I do also want to do episode 1, but... Anyway, rain sizzles off neon above me. The summer shower creates a noted uptick in the flickering of holograms down the street. And a slight blunting of the night's ambiance. It is super pretty. This is really, really pretty. It's like cyberpunk aesthetics. Emphasis on slight. Lights, cameras, and constant noise. The city's got insomnia, with the uneven heart rate to prove it. There's no escaping the secondhand nervous energy of it all, but I'm plenty acclimated. Just a wave of worries cresting on the surface while I hold my breath deep below. Besides, a microdose of nightlife anxiety, it suits my mood just fine. Because if I'm not careful, this client of mine is going to die in jail. Yeah, the CG is really nice. Again, I haven't opened this up. I thought that it was just like a visual novel style. Morgan, criminal attorney. Hello, Morgan. It's hard to get away with murder these days. People are still presumed innocent, at least on paper. But by the time they're in cuffs, there's hardly any shadows of doubt left. Because this whole world's lit up, mapped out, never unknown and always online. Whether it's incandescent or neon or hollow, whether it's LCD, LED, or just the nearest phone screen, there's light shining on every last pixel of the map. And someone's always watching. Solitude's a rarity. Anonymity is scarce. And criminal defense attorneys aren't exactly flush with customers. That's how it is nowadays too. Hey now, there's still some blind spots. Some. So you take whatever clients you can get. You don't balk at public defender work, no matter the hour. And should you find yourself in one of the last dark, quiet corners left in the whole world, well, smoking if you got 'em. Not that there's much I can do until my phone. Counselor, your public defender contract has been approved. You are expected at the 254th precinct. Present your ID at the door to enter. Arrive at least 15 minutes early. So dramatic. I'll try hard. Real? Looks like the paperwork came through. It's nearly 3:15 now, 90 minutes since I took the job. Probably makes it about 2 hours since they finally got smart enough to ask for a lawyer. I'll try hard emoji is the type of shit I would do. Though it's so whimsy. If they're really smart, they'll have used that time to get some rest. Because now that I'm here, things are going to get busy. What an opening. That's a really good opening. And he shall appear. Disable tutorials? Nah, I need this. I need this. Thank you. Let's enable the tutorials. Ooh. Suspect not found. Precinct 254. It's a goddamn ghost town. With nothing but a hologram for a welcoming party. I'm here about a homicide. High clearance rates be damned. You'd think they'd treat it with a little more gravitas. But whatever, if I'm that unimportant, they've got no right to complain if I take my sweet time getting checked in. And I should take my time. Information's like cash in my line of work. You gotta spend it to make it. If you're flat broke, no one will give a shit what you have to say. So let's see if I can't poke around and shake some change loose. Press the phone button. Okay. Top left, auto advancing text. The backlog one. I hope you enjoy Lesbian Ace Attorney. I will enjoy Lesbian Ace Attorney, Max. Look around for points of interest you can check to investigate the area. Reminds me way too much of Persona. See, I got this game because I got suggested it because I used to like Danganronpa. So that's like 3 different games immediately. This is beautiful. Credit is both a measure of your information gathering skills and your own credibility, so don't go broke. Oh, that is a cool ass card. Okay. Ooh, those are loud. Hello, Twash. Hi. The medium's cracked in the corner. Looks bad, but my phone's made of the same stuff, and I'm rolling the dice every time it falls off the sofa. Could probably know the warranty on one of these things with a loud sneeze. At least it's not broken. Entirely, even at this hour, it's still dutifully scrolling through its notifications. Looks like the usual 1-to-1 ratio of public health alerts and inoffensive pop culture trivia you always get served at state buildings. Every cringe game from around 2014 to 2016 was a pretty obvious influence on Up the Devil. And this is why it's nostalgic and beautiful to me. How are you doing, Twash? How are you doing, Max? But there's a few missing persons too. 1 year of silver plan coverage, courtesy of Caduceus as a reward for any... Silver's no joke. Family must be getting desperate. Okay, let's see. High traffic hallways, utilitarian furnishing, multiple screening stations. I'm doing evil. I'm alive, my body will... Okay. Yes, get food, get food. And Dodge, I hope that you feel less evil soon. You should also get food if you've just woken up. Pragmatic brutalism so textbook it could teach freshman level architecture. Can almost hear the building drone on and on about concrete and iron and hard right angles. The civil planning equivalents of battle scars. Gonna plan out how to take over the world? You know what? I believe in you. I trust you as a dictator. From a fight won so long ago that they're starting to look ridiculous. I'm sure it was all very imposing back when it was built. But walking in here now with crime rates where they are, feels like a hospice ward for heavy-handedness. There's that. There's this. Is there anything on the ceiling? Oh, okay. Let's read this. A data pad? I'll bite. I don't think you should be biting that, but go ahead. Even when they're more advertisement than article, they can still be informative. In a flowery, roundabout, corporate propaganda sort of way. Articles in the environment offer insight on the world around you and credit towards your investigation. Articles are added to your phone's reading list after you first read them. Thank you. This card is so cute. You can buy anything. Well, you can buy anything, but is it a good idea? Is the real question here. Okay, Subway for... Okay, I'm not reading all of this, but let me skim it and give cliff notes. Okay. Hello, PJ. Hi. Biting things is always a good idea. No, do not. That is so cat-coded. Do not bite the cables. Do not bite the cables. Hello, PJ. How are you? Especially metals and... No! No! You guys cannot be biting things like this. Okay. Subway is fucked, and they've decided to build a giant thing called the canopy above things. Councilman Long's campaign finance irregularities. Okay. No more subways, so there's only the canopy for morning commutes. Terra. Oh my goodness, this is so much. So much. And then there's personal submarine taxi pods for the flooded subway tunnels. It's so tempting to make you homophobic right now. This is a crazy sentence. Coastal city. Okay. Okay. Ballsy of them putting the paywall there. As if I'd reach for my wallet after having to read a word like aesthetical. Besides, I got the gist of it. The takeaway is that the city will be focusing its efforts on canopy. There will be increased scrutiny surrounding the canopy now that there's no plan B. It's a massive project with a massive budget. Lines the pockets of a lot of people, big and small. None of them would appreciate bad press at the moment, not when Councilman Long's already thoroughly chumped the waters. Oh, okay. Okay, so you get more things from just observing the environment. Awesome. An actual police lineup. It's like I walked into a museum. The museums tend to feel expensive and clean. Dusty, forgotten, probably lots of unpacked boxes. This homicide department's more like an attic. Hard to believe they were ever so busy that they had witnesses making IDs in the lobby. Then again, it's hard to believe they were ever doing lineups in the first place. Are you certain? Wasn't it dark? Did you know that during traumatic events, memory formation is blah blah blah? Poking holes in that setup must have been like shooting fish in a barrel, and all during billable hours. But there's no room to sow doubt anymore. Not when a modded witness can just submit their testimony as a video recording. Assuming their phone didn't automatically file a police report for them. Alright. I've taken in all the scenery and learned as much as I can here. Time to get checked in. The fact that I've named that redeem, what is it? It's just, I know what you are. I'm a homophobic dog. Seeing people say, I'm going to turn you homophobic is really beautiful. Hello. Hello, desk. It booted up fine. So far, so good. Good morning. Morgan, here for the public defender contract. Could you please provide your name and... Great! Please stand still for a moment. I wouldn't call Intake Hollows charming. More like harmless. Well, that's probably what the designers were aiming for. I do not like the implication that the phone would automatically do something. Who's reviewing this? You see, privacy laws aren't real. Phones automatically doing things is like the only thing they do. Well, you can disable things right now. Right now. Kill all phones. I kind of need them. I kind of need a phone. But, no, this is also real. Phones love to keep information on you. Stairs and advertising profiles on phones. Anyway, people don't mind a quirk or two in their text so long as it never speaks out of turn. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble placing you. Could you please provide your name and date of birth? So far so good, was it? Give me my card. Say, why don't you just scan my ID card? Great. Now could you just confirm your date of birth for me? Why do they even bother asking? My birthday's on the damn ID card and my profile. I'd have to be a world-class airhead to get this question wrong. No problem. My birthday's... Bitch, I don't know your birthday! Hello? December 26th, okay. Right after Christmas. December 26th. Perfect. Good morning, Morgan Counselor. Don't be mean to me, Morgan. I just got here. Thank you for your timely arrival and for taking on this public defender contract. If you're ready to speak to your client, you can proceed to Counseling Quarters 3C. Is that what we're calling it now? You mean the interrogation room? I'm sorry to have caused any confusion. My vocabulary is regularly updated to better reflect state standards. Don't sweat it. I can't keep track of every new euphemism either. They could call it involuntary wellness check room if they'd like. Doesn't change the way it makes a person feel sitting in a stifled box of one-way panels. Nothing to see but their own reflection dully wrapped around across gunmetal walls. Morgan Counselor, can I help you with anything else? Choices that... Oh, okay. Choices that... Okay. Alrighty. Because of the article you read earlier, you've unlocked an additional choice in this dialogue. This is beautiful. I love 100%ing things. Read and examine at every opportunity to build up your knowledge and get the most out of every conversation. I might be a world-class airhead, but don't even worry about it. Okay, so... I see. What are you? I'm a smart user interface, proudly sold by Noble Electronics. Thank you for asking. If you're interested, I could send you a link with information about our subscription packages. Should I send you a link with information about our subscription packages? I ate an airhead once. I think I've had an airhead maybe once. I once got given like a pack of gum with like airhead crumbles in the middle, and it was like okay. I don't really like having stuff in my gum though. No, sorry. That was a mean question to ask. Why the disrepair? I know the city's not terribly concerned with the lower wards, but this is a police station. Why is it so goddamn dusty? This facility is currently undergoing renovations. Since when? The 60s? It has been 22 months since the timetable was last updated. They really don't see a lot of action around here, do they? I'm sorry for any inconvenience you might have encountered. I'm adaptable. What about you? They ever gonna fix that crack? Thank you for asking. It has not interfered with my work. Well, that's all that matters, right? That'll be all, thank you. You'll find the counseling quarters past our homicide detective office through the door to your right. Thanks. But I think it's just me for now. So you could go on a break if you'd like. Automated dependents do not take breaks, Morgan Counselor. Then what were you doing before I walked in? You'll find the counseling quarters past our homicide detective's office. Through the door to the right, thank you. Morgan's pretty nice, yeah. This is an interesting AI. Ads don't get breaks, and they don't get my jokes, but it's usually the humorless types that are the most fun to mess with anyway. Has gone bad or something? A voice, no. Voices coming from down the hall. Prepared to yours? Probably. Thank God I stopped for directions. A building this empty, this desk could have just told me to follow the echoes. One voice sounds older, rougher, and decidedly low energy. Why does Morgan have whimsy? This is so joyous. Morgan has whimsy because how else are you supposed to handle the cyberpunk dystopia? Appreciate you worrying about me. Forbid I try to be serious. While the other voice rings with youthful indignation. Okay. It's not like our job is important or anything. Definitely cops. And at this precinct, at this hour, they might be the only two living, breathing people in the whole complex. Because why else would you bother to print all that out? One document or 100 looks the same on a datapad. Anytime you question a suspect, you need to have a heavy file in hand. Makes them think you know them better than their priest, their mother, their big brother. I wasn't gonna say that. Hi, Zeno! Hello! So how many of those sheets were blank then? No red carpet tonight, officers? Oh, sorry about that, ma'am. We don't keep many extra hands around at these hours. Probably faster to let the desk handle intake anyway. But mostly cheaper. You the lawyer? I am. Morgan Esquire, pleased to meet you. Same here, counselor. Kasim London. And the ball of sunshine here is my partner, Farah Reyes. Ball of sunshine? She certainly is. Ha! Sorry if you were kept waiting. Chatter between the departments has been hectic all night. It's no trouble. Gave me time to enjoy my cigarette. Cigarette? Like tobacco? What are you, 80? She can't be more than a few years younger than me. We're the detectives in charge of this particular case. And it looks like tonight we're also your humble guides to the illustrious homicide department. This is beautiful. I'm assuming they have like fun high-tech smoking. Like, you know, we got vapes now, so assumedly they got something more interesting going on. Be kind though. Be nice to her and her tobacco addiction. It's gotta be like, it can't be like vapes, right? Vapes are also tobacco. Apologies in advance for any cobwebs. They got that they got that new shit in 2086. Pretty sure I've seen this London character around the courthouses before. Never struck me as more than just some old timer. I suppose being an old timer is an accomplishment in and of itself in his profession. Sunshine is definitely a new face though. Rigid in her posture and her attitude. 3 in the morning and her shirt still looks ironed. Freshly promoted, maybe? 2 whole detectives working at these hours? Sounds serious. Unless you were just the first to arrive on the scene. No, we're not nearly that timely. Uniforms responded to the emergency calls within a few minutes. Calls, plural, must have been quite the commotion. Look around, you think we're the first to arrive for anything? She's not wrong. We were only tapped after circumstances at the scene indicated involvement with an ongoing investigation. Our ongoing investigation. Not very subtle, is she? Okay. When Morgan's eyes are black like this, she really does look like Patterson. She really looks like Patterson. Not the same hairstyle, but like... But I might as well bite at this point. Don't get me started. Yeah. Detective, the outfit a little bit. And then like when the eyes are black, yeah. The Whimsy Loki reminds me of Risen herself. It's terrifying. Crazy how Risen is in this game. So you suspect that this client of mine is involved in some separate criminal activity? Wait, did they really not? No, I guess they wouldn't put it in a public defender's briefing. Look, consider this a little professional courtesy. A fair warning, yeah? That's the heartbreak killer in that room. And we've got the bastard dead to rights. Not gonna lie, if Patterson like acted like this, maybe people would like her more. Look, Morgan is actually investigating and talking to people and has whimsy in her heart that isn't being evil. Morgan has nice whimsy. Patterson has evil whimsy, you know? So if you're kind, you'll help him plead it out. And if you're smart, you'll pass this shitstorm onto some other night owl and go back to bed. You're proving my point? Yeah, no, I agree with you. I'm not feeling particularly kind or smart at the moment. So perhaps in the meantime, you'd be so polite as to fill me in about this heartbreak killer. They cover utilities at the rock you live under? Is there a problem? You're seriously not familiar with HK. Hong Kong? I know about Hong Kong. This is beautiful. I keep seeing the character on the very right as B00 Hermitcraft. Oh my god. I can't believe B00 has become a very young police officer, detective. Hermitcraft. This is so true. Never heard of him. I've heard enough of him for a lifetime. That name has been plastered all over the city for weeks, their crimes wavering between breaking news and urban legend. Their presumed goals flip-flopping from unadulterated anarchy to unappreciated vigilantism. At street corners and the media or on the net, everyone's indulging in this exact kind of armchair detective speculation that I can't stand. But right now, I need to figure out exactly how much the police do or don't know. And when it comes to cops, I always get better results playing dumb than I do acting smart. I take it he's a repeat offender. Is it the killer part that tipped you off? You must have at least heard about his MO. Media's gone crazy with it. Along with everyone else. One bullet straight through the heart. Body left to lie where it falls. Hence the name Heartbreak. Not exactly creative, but amidst the swirl of every other 100-word article out there, catchiness trumps originality. What you won't read about online is that all 6 of HK's victims were shot by the same gun, without even needing to reload. Horrible to say, I know, but 6 for 6? That's pretty good shooting, isn't it? Hitting the bullseye at the shooting range is good shooting. Doing it 6 times in a row is great. But shooting 6 people with accuracy like that? It's a whole different beast. It takes a certain kind of monster, a real freak. His pulse probably didn't even rise. I see. How are you feeling? I don't think this sounds horrific. Reminds me of Cassidy's old— yeah, we got fucking Cassidy from Overwatch in here. If I'm being honest, it sounds way more robotic. I'm not gonna bother saving through this, so if I fuck up, I fuck up. You almost make him sound like a machine. Is it possible that— No, it's not. There's no such thing as killer robots, madam. Of course, my mistake. So all those androids marching in the military, those robots patrolling in police uniforms, those drones dropping firebombs from the sky. I guess they're all firing blanks. Fair enough. Machines can kill, and they have been for decades. Yeah, no, exactly. That's not that surprising, right? But they don't commit murder. Right? Evil like Heartbreak is all organic. That's a pretty terrifying thought. I should really start paying more attention to the news. I managed to miss 6 murders. Well, you can only blame yourself for missing 5. Pardon? You're still not getting it? HK's 6th victim was found a few hours ago, when we caught the son of a bitch red-handed. So, you're convinced that my client is this Heartbreak killer, and tonight was just his latest crime. Tell that to AO. Yeah, exactly. Hate. That's a serious accusation with very serious consequences. I should play that one. Me forgetting the name of the actual thing. I take it you have serious evidence to back that up? I was being literal, counselor. Red-handed. When we found your client, he was covered in her blood. Well, that's not good, is it? What you say certainly sounds compelling. Is that lawyer talk for open and shut? But even if that's the case, how does one crime scene make him look good for 6 murders? It's paint! Exactly, it's paint. It's all there in the discovery files. And the ARCs, of course. Join the local net on your phone and we'll turn over everything you need. I'll bet. Thanks for that, detective. I'll be sure to read it over. But if it's all the same, could I ask you some questions while I've got you here? The hell kind of attorney wants to interrogate the detectives? This kind of attorney. You're just that pleasant. Come on, sunshine. Not like we're going to be punching out anytime soon, right? Whatever. Let your client stew an interrogation all night for all I care. You mean the counseling quarters? We're at your disposal, counselor. Morgan is very, very charming. I love that. I love this for her. Should have cleaned up so much for little old me, detective. Someone really needs to introduce this guy to a filing system, or even just a stapler. Favorite documents scattered about lazily, alongside actual photographs. Either he's really old-fashioned or really paranoid about data leaks. And he doesn't look like the paranoid type. Well, orderliness aside, some things are better on paper, I'll give him that. Barren, stark, and uninviting. This must be Rhea's desk. Keeping your workstation neat and tidy is admirable, but I can't spot a single mote of personalization. She's so new that she hasn't had time to unpack, or is she really that uptight and boring? Both, maybe. Data leaks. Woo! Okay, let's scroll over everything. Aha! Latest noble androids receive warm welcome. I need to actually read this because it's got important information that I'm going to get quizzed on. Let's see. Surging sales of the Animate 16. Okay. Noble Electronics stock. That's the same as the front desk lady. She was made by Noble Electronics. Noble's latest iteration has yet to surpass the sheer popularity of its predecessors, and increased profit margin has left Noble's shareholders very enthused. Many investors were skeptical when, at their now infamous 2084 trade convention, Noble announced that the 16th line would be the first generation of androids to feature over 50% organic components, so-called warm androids, which at the time only saw demand in health, senior, and childcare sectors, were looked down as impractical due to increased maintenance costs, cuts, scratches, bruises, and the like. Detroit become human? And while some critics voiced concerns that fringe religious or traditionalist groups might find warm androids controversial, more business-focused minds feared that Noble was alienating its customers in the industrial and military sectors in order to cater to civilian consumers, users that viewed their androids from across the room and not from above the factory floor. Mentioned how all evil is organic, and now there's mentions of androids with organic material. All right, thank you. Yes, exactly. I was thinking the same shit. I was like, oh God. Interesting. However, as has often been the case in the last decade, Noble's doubters were proven wrong. The Animate 16 is poised to break profitability records with no signs of slowing down. Heartbreak may just be a robot. This is true. Either that or like cyborg things, right? I'm not sure. We don't really know the state of cyborg stuff yet, but we haven't encountered anyone with like cyborg things going on, so. Many industry analysts predict that these once rare organic androids will completely replace their robotic predecessors in daily life within the next 3 to 5 years. We are in that. It's 2086, so we're not quite in that time range, but it's like getting up there. As described in the earnings report, much of the 16th line's success, and indeed the success of Noble's androids in general, can be attributed to the remarkable lifelike, personable charm of their products, and by all accounts, that charm can be attributed to the work of Noble's famed lead programmer, Dr. David Usher. Would not reach that, but hey, yeah. Lead programmer is the understatement of the century, said Noble brand ambassador Lucy Dees on stage at their hashtag Noble Industry Weekend. That's because of his Turing solution that every Noble product, from the sleekest assistants to the most advanced intensive care technicians, are so beloved and trusted by our customers. While his reputation was on full display at the event, Dr. Usher himself was nowhere to be seen. He's always been reclusive, but he's become a genuine hermit in recent years. Are we really to believe that he's still... Hey fam, looks like you're not logged into this device. Want to put in your account info so we can help you keep reading? That made me ill. the paywall there made me ill. He's in the news again. It's no wonder. Can't spit without it landing on a piece of noble tech these days. Man, let me read. Yeah, exactly. Especially not when the state's involved. Don't know if they'll bite when it comes to warm androids, though. For government use, they're just... I'd say too expensive, right? It wasn't saying anything about it being too frail. Too expensive. They're just too expensive to justify. Wait, what am I thinking? No states. Really? It didn't say that they were frail though. Am I crazy? Ah, well. Oh well. Well, I guess that makes sense. Loose wires, missing panel, an aircon system. I guess I mentioned that the cost of maintaining them would be a pain. Yeah, I thought that it would be, I genuinely thought that it would be an expensive issue, but like, to be fair, they are spending shit on random stuff, so. This wires, missing panels, an aircon system that probably sweats more than the people it's supposed to cool. No room in the budget for making the office not look like shit, huh? I expected to find a lot of belt tightening at Homicide. But I didn't think their operation would be this bare bones. But they've got a stunning clearance, right? And they work fast. I guess the city sees that and just assumes their job is easy. Maybe their job is easy, what with our dear doting surveillance states eliminating so much of the footwork. But if your wheels don't squeak, you don't get your palms greased. So Homicide ends up as the only state department with a shrinking budget, a dumping grounds for the police force's most unambitious, and a least popular. Okay. Nothing else jumps out at me around here. I've got a better idea of who I'm dealing with, at least. Now I need to check out the crime scene data. I should have been sent a link. I'm granted access to state files regarding case KL433511. Press C, reply C to confirm. Confirm. You need to reply C in order to confirm. Am I talking to a person? I am an automated dependent. ADDs are usually more polite. Our personalities are tailored to suit our users' preferences. So the state likes you to be a little authoritarian. You need to reply C. Morgan. C. It's case sensitive. C. Thank you. Link.ua that looks like a phishing link. Alright, if I project from my phone. Click my state mandated phishing link. AR crime scene. Ooh, awesome. Alright, let's see what the police have and what they think is important. Let's look at the body first. The victim's body. Cause of death: ballistic trauma, class 4, blood loss, atrium and aorta. Single gunshot wound to the heart. In brief, death was instantaneous. No injuries anywhere else, and no blood or skin underneath her nails. Blood spatter, forensics, and all the other good stuff tells them that she was shot from there. So the killer was standing in the doorway when they fired. The murder weapon, a revolver, found right next to the body. Anything government website makes itself... You know what? You're so right. So many government website things do in fact look like phishing scams. It's beautiful. 6 empty casings found in each of the 6 chambers, meaning the gun's been fired 6 times. Looks like the crime scene techs practically disassembled the damn thing, but all they found were fingerprints belonging to my client. So he was found by the police with the murder weapon right in front of the body. I don't even know where to start. Highly prejudicial would be an understatement. A stand-up mirror shattered and knocked over. Real glass, no screens or cameras here. It was hit hard enough to come unattached from its arm, while shards of glass were scattered, far enough to land on the victim's body. What a mess. Okay. What is... No, I want to see what this is. What is that? Seems like this face got tossed aside at some point. Where was it hanging on the... Was the mirror hanging on the wall? Where? Like, in front of the window? That's weird. Seems like this face got tossed aside at some point. You know, I wanted to get into forensics. Still could, not gonna lie. Why am I speaking like the option isn't there? We've got like computer forensics and such in like comp sci things. I considered it. The only thing is that like that does mean working mostly with like law enforcement and yeah. And yet there's not a scratch on it. Must be pretty damn durable. Isn't art supposed to be delicate? Maybe it's making a statement. I'm assuming it does, judging from the way it's leaning. Yeah. That's all the big ticket items. What about the security? Looks like the apartment was unlocked all night. It's not uncommon for people their age in a neighborhood like this. No signs of forced entry only hurts my client's case. What about the rest of the room? There's not much else flagged here. Just a lounge chair that got thrown and whatever that is. Unidentified ceramic debris? Flag is irrelevant? That's their technical assessment? Guess even the crime scene techs weren't sure what to make of it. Okay. That's everything the police highlighted. But did I miss anything? What is this thing in the corner? I want to see that. Okay. Let's see. Is there anything? That looks like a clock there. And then... Really? Nothing? I'm just gonna... We do this method. I don't think that there's anything else here. The beautiful method of just scanning up and down. I really just I wanna touch this. I wanna touch that thing. Let me in. What? Wait. Yeah, what is that? Hold up. Something in the victim's hand? How the hell did? It's just a pill organizer. Looks like some immune adjusters, NSAIDs, and triprexazone, a synthetic glucocorticoid medication. Taken daily to reduce rejection symptoms like phantom pain and generalized itch. The autopsy here said her tox screen was clear, but it's not like it matters. She could have swallowed every medicine cabinet in the city and it still wouldn't change the cause of death. It's odd, but ultimately irrelevant. Everything else here is all very incriminating. The kicker's everything that's not here. No out-of-place DNA, footprints, crumbs. Nothing that points towards anyone except my client. Well, I've done more with less before, but not much more. I'm really gonna have to sing for my supper this time. Better get started. Who the hell is messaging me at this time of night? First person who comes to mind is... Suppose it could be something important. Okay. This is a screenshot I sent when I was like, am I going to play this game today? Yes or no, does that look like Pacino? Red. What, couldn't wait until morning? Good news, of course. Got a job for you. That's a pretty cheery way to tell me you violated parole. That looks like Pacino, right? Am I fucking crazy? Just a little bit. The middle part, and then the like curls around the face and the hat. Yeah. Well, not that kind of job. Besides, I've been covering my tracks. This is something different. Kind of thing I can't handle with just a keyboard and a phishing scheme. I need you to sue my gym teacher. Not that kind of lawyer, sorry. Hey, at least let me finish. What did they do? Make me run laps. Not illegal. Let me finish! They made me run laps. Even though I said I had a stomachache. Said, gotta be like, youth endangerment. Depraved indifference or some kind of shit. Sounds like you've already got a strong case. Try self-representing this time. What's with the blow-off? Nice phrasing. Oh wow, I'm laughing so hard right now. See? Is that your mugshot? I wasn't gonna not get a copy of my mugshot and use it as a reaction. What the fuck? Glad you found a use case. Patch Xenocore, yes or no? Sue all my gym teachers, they were killing me. On my way, I will sue them. But I'm working right now, so. Anything cool? Homicide. Oh, cringe. I would do the mugshot reaction image. Yeah, no. I think that Patch Risen took a mugshot picture of Patch Zeno would use it as a reaction image. Wait, what kind of homicide? Is it HBK? Is that the kind of morbid thing kids your age talk about? Teens my age. And yeah, we can read. Compared to the corrupt shit in the headlines. Old-fashioned murder is like Hardy B is like quaint. It's not heartbreak. Then why'd you take the job, lol? You see the 98% conviction rate as a challenge or something? You're taking up lost cause, pro knows work. It's pro bono. That was autocorrect. You know they give lit homework for a reason, right? This borderline concerned nagging. Maybe you really are a bleeding heart. Or just a sucker. I'm not a sucker. Nice phrasing, lol. You should go to bed, Fran. Tomorrow's Sunday. I can stay up if I want. Tomorrow is Sunday. Because today is Saturday. What's with the Carpe Diem shit? It's nearly 4 a.m., kid. You've got school in like 3 hours. Shit. Great question. I don't know the deal between Fran and Morgan, but I love whatever the fuck this thing is. I mean, they went to fucking jail. They have a mugshot. Repeat offenders may be good for a business. School's on the weekend, don't even worry about it. But that kid's bad for my blood pressure. Important text message, I take it. Just your typical teenage drama. So then, if you wouldn't mind filling me in on a few details. Let's do details first. So how about the basics? What exactly has my client been charged with? Your client Carlos Backer Flat was arrested on the scene at 9:50 p.m. Using his middle name already, they really do think he's a serial killer. The charge being the first-degree murder of his girlfriend, a Miss Diane Dawn. First degree? That's increasingly rare, to say the least. It's rare for us to get handed anything but crimes of passion around here. City's got damn near more cameras than people. So you gotta be really, really stupid to try to get away with murder. Well, Heartbreak's gotten away with it 6 times. So what's that make it? 5 times, and that makes him insane. I was gonna go with extraordinary. Let's split the difference and say he's extraordinarily insane. But nut jobs like that aren't renowned for their ability to think ahead. So what makes you think that this was premeditated? How about the fact that he stalked and killed 5 other women is warm up? I mean, it takes 3 to become a serial killer. Yeah, this is true. A warm-up? 5 previous bullets, 5 previous victims. None of them knew each other, lived near each other, worked in the same fields. Weeks of digital autopsies crawling up and down their online profiles. Nothing. So the serial killer chose his victims at random if they have nothing in common. Yeah, nothing in common at all, other than they all look like cousins. The physical similarities are striking. All 5 prior victims were young women with brown hair and eyes, about the same height, comparable weight. Well, those features aren't exactly uncommon, couldn't it be? A coincidence? If you really believe that, you should quit your job and start buying lotto tickets. HK's got himself a type. Anyone can see that. Looking over and reading, you must really have a type as I'm reading it out. You are catching brainwaves from Reyes. You're really gonna try and tell me you don't see the resemblance? A young woman, brown hair, brown eyes. Can't tell how tall she is from a portrait, but I can take the hint. So you think what exactly? Same brainwaves, shouted to Reyes. Hell yeah. The Carlos Flat wanted to kill his girlfriend so badly he went and out and shot 5 other women first? I'm just this guy's type, no way. I'm not this guy's type, thank fucking God. Hey, if the shoe fits. Watch, I don't think this is a good thing. Well, you see, he just shot the last person, so he's not gonna be reloading, you know? Twaj is probably fine. Never mind, she wants to be the next victim. Sorry, my condolences. I think that he's out of bullets. If the shoe fits, then you put the shoe on the... What Sunshine means is that it's not uncommon for killers to displace their violence from people close to them onto outlets with fewer consequences. Drifters, loners, strangers, workers. He was probably building up the nerve for tonight by first practicing on these other similar women. Or he's just so far gone that he can't tell the difference anymore. It's not the worst theory in the world, but it doesn't fit. I want to claim that those previous victims were practice runs, dress rehearsals for tonight's main event. If that were the case, there'd been sides of hesitation, nerves. There'd have been mistakes. On top of which, guns are impersonal, execution shots even more so. There's no sadism or hatred or intimacy in a single bullet to the heart. This reminds me of UK9. Killing your girlfriend or her lookalikes usually is, if nothing else, a lot less sterile. If you ask me. Hello? Frightening, Morgan? What? Don't even worry about it, K9. Let's go think. I saw the time of death was 9 p.m. on the autopsy, but do you have a timeline for the rest of the night's events? If this is a... Wait. This was a crime of passion, it usually wouldn't be a gun. Yeah, exactly. I just like... Yeah, I agree with her in... How long is the time between each death? This is a good idea. Oh, wait, hold on. They're saying that Twaj is bullying me? My theory is that robot with fuck-ass face recognition who thinks everyone with brown hair and brown eyes is an outlaw. We're so fucked, Twaj. Oh, hey, Morgan is just asking. Can't trust much of what comes out of his mouth, but we've managed thanks to less biased sources. And we're pretty confident about what we've been able to piece together from their statements. So they interviewed witnesses. Sounds eerily similar to real police work. The suspect and his girlfriend were arguing loudly with each other starting around 8 p.m. Hello? She's got cool ass hollow eye. Neighbors were very clear about that part. Couldn't wait to tell us about the happy couple's domestic problems. Everyone in the building knew they'd been fighting for weeks. As you probably gathered from what you saw in the arcs, there was a struggle. Furniture turned over, glass shattered, but things go quiet sometime before 9 p.m. And then there's a gunshot. Scrubbers are still scrubbing, looking for audio from the area to get a timestamp. Cybernetics, yes! But we heard from enough concerned citizens to be pretty damn sure that's about the time. Right, emergency services got a burst of calls from the block shortly after 9 p.m. No one seems to recognize the sound for what it was, but the silence that followed was pretty universally alarming. Officers arrive on the street at 9:08 p.m., establish a perimeter, enter through the front door at 9:10 p.m., and then they find your client, crouched over his dead girlfriend, his hand covered in her blood, at which point they move to secure the scene and the suspect. Sorry, did you say his hand, singular? Your client's modded. Cybernetic right arm. Okay. There are common cybernetics. How modded are we talking about here? Registered with a HAL 85 habilis. Industrial grade looks like. Says he's spec'd for dexterous manipulation of up to class 4 KPA, which means a minimum grip strength of, well, basically, you could crush your neck without even gritting his teeth. You know, ever thought that the girl may have killed herself to change the trajectory of his life? Interesting theory. I don't think that that's happening. Considering a career change? No, it's not that. It's just your eye must be very sensitive for you to put the patch back on each time. And here I thought you just had a 14-year-old sense of fashion. Oh. Bro! You think a cop would cover up her dominant eye because it was fashionable? I actually thought the same thing the first time we met. You what? But getting back on track, that arm of his has been in the shop for some time now. God. That was... I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, me too, bro. I also thought that that was just for funsies. You gotta stop being so antagonistic. Look, it's not Morgan if she's not being antagonistic. That's beautiful. Hello, welcome in, take it. We are... I don't know how far we are into episode 0, but I've only seen like previews of this game, so having a great time so far. I love the characters and the dialogue. You can't work without it. Money got tight. The arguing? Wait, hold on. Okay, so he doesn't have his arm right now. When did he put his arm in for repairs? It's Carlos, the suspect, who doesn't have his arm right now because it's in the shop for repairs. Waiting for stream delay. That's also what I was... Oh, like for the past... Wait, actually, that's a good question. Take it, have you played this game before? I'm not looking for spoilers, I'm just curious if you're like trawling looking for people who haven't played. Yeah, if you also possibly did it. Yeah, I think if for the previous ones it wouldn't make sense. Yay, that's good. Yeah. This is a really nice game so far. Oh, I just realized that Morgan has a gradient and the others don't really. Beautiful. 8 days before HK's first victim was killed. Okay, well, that answers our question. I should have just pressed enter. Really fun game. Yes, I am enjoying myself so far, and it's only been an hour, so... Well, no chance they'll be willing to chalk that up to coincidence. Your client was arrested on the scene after a preliminary scan found his fingerprints on the revolver. No one else's. A revolver? What kind? The old kind. The real old kind. More specifically, a Calver M54, 6-chambered, 10mm. Calver? How retro? You don't know the half of it. We're talking steel chamber, real gunpowder, mechanical firing pin. Huh. And no tags. No tags? How is that? Just how old are we talking here? Yeah, 24/7 location data, timestamp trigger pulls, safety is coded to owner biometrics. Past 3 decades, tags made shooting crimes very unambiguous. So you're claiming my client used some kind of antique to commit these crimes? How else do you think he'd have gotten away with this 5 other times? If you try to buy a gun legit, he'd probably fail the first psych check. And even jailbroken pieces are only good for so long before update withdrawal sets in. So then M54, that's model year 2054. God damn. That's like 30 years ago? That is an older gun. 30-year-old gun. Well, that sure complicates things, doesn't it? In some ways, sure. But pre-tagging firearms are rare. Gotta be less than 1,000 of them left in the cold country, and fewer still compatible bullets. The ammunition would have to be over 30 years old too. The novelty of his weapon has kept us in the dark so far, but now that we have our hands on it, it's gonna put him away for good. Archive department complained loud as hell about how deep they had to dig, but with the protocols they found, the techs were able to match the rifling marks on all 6 bullets to the gun your client was found with. Rifling marks? Bullets fired from guns that old are marked by the barrel shape. This is true. I think. I'm trying to remember. I know that, like, barrels of guns will have, like, the rifling in there. Right? Yeah. So if all 6 bullets had the same rifling marks, we know that they were all fired by the same gun. I'm not sure that this is exactly how this works, but I'm not saying that it's not. It's not as plug and play as tags are, but it's equally precise science, I assure you. If that's not damning enough, the spent cases from the other 5 shootings were still in the chamber, without even needing to reload. The caliber your client was found with is the gun HK used to kill 6 women. No way to lawyer around that. An untagged gun, just being anywhere near a weapon like that, could warrant your arrest. Being found by the police over a dead body with an untagged gun used at 5 other crime scenes is just... To summarize then, you believe that my client fought verbally, then physically with his girlfriend, and then he retrieved this weapon and shot her? Yeah, pretty much. How did he look when the officers found him? Guilty. How was his effect? Quiet, detached, stiff. Not exactly the picture of a grieving heart. No, I think that is. I think that is. You go into shock. That reaction may have lost some points with the cops, but beyond that, people react to loss in all kinds of unusual ways. And so long as the police are suspicious of you, there's no right way to grieve. I feel like shock is pretty normal. Okay, this isn't going to end it, so I'm just gonna keep asking. Checking my phone here, and I have to say, you've done a pretty admirable job keeping the details of HK's crimes a secret. Less reputable sites are doing some real journalistic acrobatics trying to piece together a story. Do go into shock and quiet down. Yep. Yeah. Oh wait, that's Reyes. Yeah, top 11 theories on who hurt HK was a real weighty read. It's not just journalists though. All kinds have been emboldened. The freaks that HK has managed to bring out of the woodwork in just a few weeks. Can you blame them though? I mean, he's a genuine serial killer. Repeat offenders in general are an endangered species, but he's gotten away with... We know what he's gotten away with! Take a look around us, detective. National DNA registry is robust enough that cases never go cold. Cameras on every street, a phone on every citizen. Violent crime at an all-time low and clearance rates at all-time highs. But you're going to spout some alt-pol bullshit about invasion of privacy? I might. No, I'm not. People are safer now than at any other time in history, detectives. So when someone like Heartbreak does come along... Good point. London's trying to look like he can laugh it off. The pressure from the higher-ups must be reaching its peak. They want, maybe need, to see someone charged. And that makes them predictable. I love the sudden, like, cuts. Okay. Word, Morgan. Serious. Yeah, well, even if there's nothing standard about HK, Department SOP still dictates we starve the media for case details. That way, when we do feed them, they're grateful for whatever scraps they get. But we can't take all the credit this time around. Homicide's tight-knit and tight-lipped, but it's not like there's much information for us to leak in the first place. And why is that? Because none of the shootings were caught on the opt-in crime surveillance system. How is that even possible? I know that there are some rough areas in the lower wards, but Optics is watching every other street in the entire system. Oh, entire city. You're saying you haven't seen this killer on camera once? You'd think we'd have let him kill 6 people if we did? I understand your concern, ma'am, but optics is only what it says in the name. Private surveillance systems signing up to feed into the state's security network. It's not perfect, just another one of the many public safety tools in their belt. It's not meant to be perfect, it's meant to help us solve crimes. Or at least act as a deterrent. Hold on. Let me go to terms really quick and let me go see what optics is. Partnership between state and private enterprises. Accessible. Optics is pretty. Why the fuck would he that it gets first degree? Yeah. Hold on. Often. So is it? Okay. Accessible through state employee logins or private partner accounts. Smart UI allows users to search through and collate footage from a city of tens of millions in just a couple keystrokes. Okay, is it saying private? It says state and private enterprises, so is that going off of like civilians too? So would my question is this: would the victims have to not have optics on like their phone, right? That's my question right now. That's another thing. Articles, profiles, terms. Okay. We can go back. Then again, it's first degree, so what do I know? Yeah. Like, that's interesting. One would hope so. Fat chance determines her for war rooms and board meetings. Anyone crazy or desperate enough to commit a crime in a city like this couldn't care less about anything as vague as the consequences of their actions. It's like a safety blanket, one with very few holes left in it, but it does have holes. Patching up those remaining holes takes effort, and that effort usually means rebooting the system. There's all kinds of technical details and digital bureaucracy involved, but the end result is that there are occasional localized blackouts. The math used to schedule them is not impossible to predict. Oh, okay, I see. But those windows of opportunity are small and short. Taking advantage of them requires specific knowledge. You may be involved in law enforcement, pub data, or city planning. They'd have mentioned it if my client was a cop, and he wouldn't have needed a public defender either. His file says he's modded for heavy mass manipulation, not tech interfacing, so that just leaves city planning. So does he work construction for the city? HK has only ever struck at times and locations where optics would be down. Even with the devil's own luck, it can't possibly be coincidence. Wait, so you're saying when this woman was killed? Yeah, there was a blackout from around 8 to 9 tonight, right on schedule, so to speak. And it included the area surrounding the victim's apartment. But then, so it would have had, didn't she get like shot at like 8 and then they arrived at like 9:08, right? Sorry, not 8. She got shot at like 9. Well, what about DNA from the other crime scenes? Was my client a match? There's been no blood, no saliva, no suspect DNA at any of the crime scenes. No footage and no forensics? Also no motives, tampering, or witnesses. That's been like hunting a damn ghost. We didn't even have a murder weapon. Until now. Finally, a lucky break for the boys in blue. Scanners, cams, drones, forensics, no matter how you dress it up with tech, all detective work relies on one basic assumption. People make mistakes. But HK is the kind of monster who doesn't make mistakes. Only reason we even caught him tonight was because he finished what he had set out to do all along. So was my client on the list of suspects before tonight? Weren't you listening? There was no list of suspects. When silence passed there, everything. Yeah, I need to go look at the timeline again. We questioned some X's, a few CIs. Someone even spoke to 1 or 2 unlisted at some point. I don't know what that means. Nothing came of it. There was talk about starting on some kind of psych eval or something, but I never expected much to come from that. There's just not enough there to work with. In other words, the only thing they could have to link my client to those killings is the murder weapon. If I can just jostle that keystone, then the rest of their case should start to come loose as well. Now let's get to this. By the way, I couldn't help but notice that you're light on staff. It's 3 in the morning. Were you expecting a parade? I thought there'd at least be a few androids around. Aren't many androids in any police station this week. Not while the brass is renegotiating contracts. Contracts with Noble? Good guess. Hardly. They're the biggest robotics corp there is. Could spend all day in Center City without leaving their office's shadow. Yes, we are very fortunate to have them headquartered here. Saves us some money on shipping at least. But these talks never last that long. I'm sure they'll be back to writing checks for Noble ADDs by the end of the month. Even with Noble pushing those Worm androids? Worm, might as well call them the adult line. Might see them in the bigger departments or out on patrol, but not around these offices. Warm or cold, there's no such thing as an android detective. Yet. Yeah? Really? Yet? You really think that'll happen? We already use ads for patrolling, securing the scene, pacifying crowds. Doesn't seem like that big of a stretch to me. You're joking, right? Android detectives? With all the pain we go through getting witnesses to talk to us? With your warm personality? I can't imagine. A cop knocks on your door, starts asking questions, you're gonna be put in a bad mood. An ad knocks on your door, calls you a degenerate criminal in a synthesized voice loud enough for the whole neighborhood to hear. You're gonna start posting the shit that'll get you put on a list. Well, we certainly don't want that. But flesh and blood witnesses are becoming less and less common anyway. Cameras, sensors, satellites, we already get all our facts from machines. Give it a few more years, might make sense to let machines do the investigating too. I don't like that. No, you shouldn't. Please, God. No! The police union wouldn't let that happen. She not have specified it's the only real union there is anymore. Thanks for the chat, detective. I think I understand the background well enough now. Candidly, I see the same strokes as you do, and the picture it paints isn't pleasant. But even so, it seems a bit unrefined to be brought before a judge, don't you think? Hey, it's only our job to catch the bastard. The DA is the one who gets the conviction. Besides, we're not exactly gonna have to work hard to convince anyone of his guilt. And why is that? Because we found a handwritten confession at his desk. Bro? You didn't fucking mention this before? This is kind of important. Well, that's, unexpected. I'm sorry, you're now telling me that he wrote a confession? Has it been verified? Not yet. We have to muscle past everyone in fraud and disinfo to get to the front of that line. Why bother? The note's covered in his fingerprints. There's a copy in the discovery data, but I should warn you, it doesn't exactly make for light reading. I'll have to manage somehow. I need to see this confession for myself. Okay. Sorry for everything. Can't say it enough. Didn't mean to hurt you or do what I did. Did not want any of it to happen. Can't stay in control when I get mad. When I'm not... Okay, that does not line up, but God bless. When I'm not in control, I hurt people without meaning to. Wish I hadn't broken them. Didn't mean to at first, but I was hurting. Wanted you to hurt too, but didn't want to hurt you. Words aren't enough, I know that now. I'll take responsibility and do what I've been avoiding. Please forgive me. Okay. Can't stay in control when I get mad. Broken. Broken is an interesting word there. What is the possibility of robot forgery? That was difficult to read. Barely legible, in fact. Well, got a spin on that? No need. But it's a confession. Not a confession that he signed, though, is it? I mean, hey, if they want someone convicted regardless of guilt, I'm sure they'd love to have machines doing the investigating. Yep, yeah. Not yet. And not one he intends to sign anytime soon, considering that he asked for representation. Yeah, Yeah, the most wanted man in the city asked for a lawyer and got you. Guess you're both lucky. Hardly. I just happened to be awake when the call went out. But I'm not so flush with work that I can afford to turn tail now. So if you don't mind, I'd like to go and speak with my client. What? He's not still handcuffed in there, is he? Look, counselor, with all due respect, we have strong evidence pointing to that man being responsible for 6 murders. 2 hours or so in cuffs isn't cruel or unusual, and that's for your safety as well. It's kind of you to worry, but I doubt I'll be in any danger. He's killed 6 women. None of them were redheads. Morgan, your whimsy is beautiful. What the fuck? Seriously though, I'd like to speak with him alone now. Camera's off if you don't mind. Mics on or off is your call, counselor. But we'll be watching the feed from right outside in case anything happens. And the cuffs. The cuff, that is, stays on. That worried about me? How chivalrous. Yeah, my armor's practically blinding. Gross, I'll start up the unlock cycle. Counselor, just one last word of advice. If you have any interest in his well-being, I'd suggest you help him sign that confession. Not a bad idea. I do get paid either way. But the defense part of defense attorney isn't just for show, detective. I mean it. 6 people dead is one thing, but he's also caused weeks of widespread terror and public unrest. Putting it another way, he's made the state look bad. Here we go. Here we go. They were looking at the, hey, if they want someone convicted regardless. That's a capital crime if there ever was one. And even if the death penalty's not actually on the table these days, I can guarantee he's not gonna like whatever rehabilitation plan they draw up for him. Look, I've seen the virtual work release program in person, and it's being challenged before the Supreme Court. Yeah, sometime in the next decade, maybe. Just remember, a plea deal might feel like a loss for you, but if it keeps him from, well, that's probably a win for your client, right? Prison sentences are generally lighter for those who plead guilty, that much is true. Save the courts a great deal of time and money, and they show their gratitude with reduced sentencing. But no one will ever be grateful towards the heartbreak killer. Anyone convicted for killing 6 people, they'll never rest their mind another day in their life. Okay. We give a quick pause so I can go ahead and grab water and go to the bathroom because it has been an hour 30. But this is so fun. I will be right back, so give me just a minute. I'm giving you music while you wait. What do you want? Just kidding, you don't get a choice. I am going to play spoken form. Alright, see you guys in a second. Okay. Hello. I'm back. I should probably make an actual like BRB thing. I probably should do that. Don't feel like it though. So it's not happening. I'll just give it a moment. How are you feeling right now? My thoughts on what is happening here is well, we don't have a different suspect, so regardless, I can't make theories on that. But it does feel like it would not be super difficult for, like, maybe not a human, but like augmented kind of thing, right? Because if the killer has been able to basically pinpoint heart stuff. Hello, Risen. Hi. Welcome. If a robot can, you know, pinpoint shoot someone through the heart every single time, like 6 times in a row, right? I don't think it's out of the question that they might be able to imitate handwriting. Also, they haven't actually gone through. I don't know if it's been confirmed yet if that is actually in his handwriting, in our client's handwriting. So, hi Risen, how are you doing? We just hit like we're going to go question our client now in the interrogation room. But yeah, okay. We ready to go and talk to this guy? Good. How's the game? It is so good. It's really good. I really like the dialogue. It's fun. I am very much enjoying myself. I feel like, because I did not get to play Danganronpa when it, not when it came out. I always just watch playthroughs, so I feel like I'm living out a younger me's dream just a little bit. But also, I think this is probably, writing-wise, I feel like this is more interesting than Danganronpa. You should take notes right now. Not the PvP chat again. That's crazy. But yeah, the graphics in this game are really nice. I was expecting just visual novel, but they do really well with the 3D as well. It's depressing as hell in here. Okay! Morgan, stop serving cunt. What the hell? They need to liven this place up. Carlos flat, right? Hope you don't mind if I get comfortable. Sorry, Risen, we have comment. Okay, is there. If I go to profiles, right? Let me go to Morgan's own profile. Damn it, it's not. Okay. Sometimes Morgan has completely black, like, not pupils, irises. And in this, she really does look like Patricin. Sorry, K9, you're getting not outed because I said it first. They look kind of similar. Hope you don't mind if I get comfortable. We've got a lot to cover, but this shouldn't take all night. What are you? Look, I already told you people, I'm not a cop, Carlos. Furthest thing from it. I'm a lawyer. You're a lawyer, in fact. And I'm here to help you. Yeah, well, they said that too. All of them did. Back there, in here, kept repeating it the whole ride over. They said that they were going to help me, that they knew this was all a mistake. Then they said that I killed, acting like they were on my side, and they thought that It's not their job to help you, Carlos, but it is mine, and I'm here now. Poor guy. He's still in shock. I need more information, but if I approach this the wrong way, he'll just clam up even more. There's the black eyes. They look kind of similar. I'm sure you're exhausted. It's probably difficult to think, let alone speak. But I'd like you to try and answer a few questions. The police already questioned you, I'm sure, but they were treating you as a suspect, not as a client. Okay. So, what do you want to know? go down the list because I feel like about you, about the victim of the murder, that feels about correct to start out. Let's start simple, something mundane, grounded, rote. I'd like to know a little bit more about you first, Carlos. Something like, what line of work are you in? I'm with city engineering. Or I was, or I should be. As I thought. The police must be convinced he mapped the optics blackouts using data he stole from work. My arm, I got it slotted for the job. And, Carlos, I'm gonna need more than that. So what do I know? He works in city engineering, not a desk job. Reyes said he was modded for work and that arm must be in custody at the moment. But based on his shoulder, it'd have to be pretty... utilitarian. Utilitarian, yeah. He doesn't strike me as the type who's enamored with the aesthetics of modding. The young and the restless and the rich swapping in neon and chrome limbs because they like the way it looks. Or the way it makes other people start looking at them. No, he's pragmatic, grounded, and very unlucky. In which case, I should be too. You know, my brother wanted to mod. Really? Really? I don't even have a brother. He had everything planned out, a whole career path of promotions and bonuses and the upgrades they did for him. Then came his 18th birthday present. Test results politely informing him that he's not a viable candidate. That sucks. I think he felt relieved, actually. Seemed like it was a weight off his chest. He was glad he didn't have to choose. Does that make any sense? Yeah, I think it does. I always figured if I'd start at all, I'd start small. Hander and I test the water. Never thought about lobbing my whole damn arm off, but the recruiter was enthusiastic. That's awful! Poor guy, what the fuck? He said, "'Cause of the NCDA, there was financial aid and resources. Of course, that got shit-canned, so now me and every other modder is royally screwed. Couldn't even let me keep the tax credit." The new Citizens with Disabilities Act was amended, not repealed, but I doubt he'd appreciate the distinction at the moment. I worked in the tighter spaces, the high-volt environments, mostly canopy upkeep. Typical stuff for modders, you know? Speaking freely now, don't need to do much more than repeat his words back to him and keep him talking. The right word choice here or there can still make a difference. Work on the canopy? He must be... under a lot of pressure. We go with the green option because it's pretty and shiny. But also because I'm pretty sure this was unlocked from us picking up that data pad before. You must be under a lot of pressure now that the subways are cordoned off. Damn straight, and this crap with Long. Once word got out that the case against him was real, every desk job in the chain became terrified of their own shadow. All of them convinced that internal affairs is going to come knocking if they misplace so much as a paperclip. Everything by the book means no room for compromise, no room for problem solving, no room for engineering. Yeah, no patience for screw-ups. He's trying very hard not to look at his shoulder. Why aren't you wearing your prosthetic right now, Carlos? Yeah, that. Rejection issues starting last month. A lot of sleepless nights. Rejection? The therapy not take? Hold on, let me go look at the terms. What are we talking about? It's mod therapy, yep. Adjusting the human mind and body for cybernetic mods, okay. Physical therapy, mental technique, sensitivity, training. Even minor viral tuning may be employed to modify the body's immune response. Okay. I see. Okay. There's so many terms there, and I have not read a lot of them. So hopefully there's not too much information that I need. I'll skim through it later. It's not like that I wasn't oozing pus out of my sockets or anything. Then, do these rejection issues have anything to do with your scars? Not in the way you're thinking. I'm right-handed. Oh, how the fuck did he write that? Ain't no way. So those cuts on his face are just from shaving? Never thought this would go on so long that I'd have to relearn how to do everything. I mean, the problem started small, trembling, but then spasms, just oversensitivity, they said, and easy fix. But the problem got bigger. Couldn't let it get that far. Need to be able to trust your own hands when you're on the job site. Drop a cutter at the wrong moment and people could get hurt. So sat down, made an appointment, turned in my arm, and watched my case get placed at the back of the damn line. Where did you turn it in? Some mass turnaround chop shop with a waiting list that you wouldn't. Doesn't sound like you're a happy customer. Hell no. I found a dozen other clinics with shorter wait times, but as long as I'm renting and not owning. Manufacturer decides where your arm gets maintenance. This poor guy, holy shit. But hey, immediately we can't... Hold on, I'm gonna start actually saving. We're an hour and 40 in, I should probably not be doing that. Also, let me turn down sound effect volume actually. Cause it gets rather loud sometimes. Hold up. Okay. There we go. And that's why I'm sitting here with this expensive ass stumpfish. Hold on. I haven't been able to work in weeks. Bosses were generous enough to say my position might still be there when I've got 2 working arms again. You can buy a replacement yourself just in the meantime? I serve at the pleasure of the state. They've got exclusivity contracts with Hindi, all locked up white knuckle tight. Hindi? How Industries? As I recall, he's registered with one of their Habilis models. We took one step on site with uninsured tech. Forget the fines, I'd lose the down payment and my arm. I'd never work in the city again. If this was last quarter, maybe I could have worked something out with management, but like I said, no one's sticking their neck out for anyone now that longs in deep hot shit. You mentioned discomfort. Are you in pain? Pain will come and go. It's the itches that'll kill ya. And the phantoms come back pretty fast when I don't have anything. Oh, wait. So his girlfriend was holding his meds when she died. That's wild. Arm shaped attached to me. Didn't they give you something new? Well, where in the meantime? Something the clinics lend out for cases like this? What they gave me is a dead weight 3-jointed landfill bait piece of shit. Sorry, it's a very shitty feeling having part of your body that you know they cut quarters on. Yeah. It fits, it's compatible, technically. I can slot it in and feel on balance again. But the fingers don't even bend and the quick twitch motors are way off. It's like walking around with your arm asleep or dead. So were you wearing it when... We're gonna say you were arrested because I feel like... Hold on. Do I save here? I have been trying to just like not... I don't want to save some things, but... I feel like you were arrested is a kinder way. Because when she died is kind of rude. Were you wearing it when you were arrested? No, I wasn't. I'm pretty sure I saw the police bagging it as evidence, so can't have gotten too far. So Detective Radius was being quite literal about how he was found. He had the victim's blood on his left arm only, because at the time in question, he didn't even have a right. No inconsistencies in the story so far. It's opened up about as well as can be expected. But this has all just been a warm-up for the both of us. Now comes the delicate part. Oh boy. Carlos, you and the victim were romantically involved. How long did you two know each other? Right. I've known her since college. We shared a few classes, some mutual friends. Let me quickly check. How old are you? Nope, that's Reyes. My bad. Profiles. Heartbreak. Return. Flat. Civil engineer. Luck poor. We don't have a data. I don't know how old he is. Okay. But like probably a couple of years old, right? Like what? Couple years older than college age. Shared a few classes, some mutual friends. Always got along. Eventually, we just got together at some point. Guess I never actually asked her out the real formal way. Sounds really cowardly saying that out loud. Diane, she was in genetics. Focused her studies on agriculture. This takes a few tries to get used to using past tense. Just finished her post-grad work this year. Okay, so post-grad work, so that's at least they've been together like around 4 years, right? Question mark? Depends on the grad program. Got hired right out the gate, practically headhunted, you believe that? Practically headhunted. Of course she was. Any company'd be lucky to have her, unlike... It was a real ass job. Paid real ass money too. So her career was starting to pan out. Right as yours had fallen into the mother of all slumps. Where was she hired? Pedigree? No. Perigee Laboratories. I say that like the name matters. The whole setup's under Harco's umbrella. That does not narrow it down. The Harvest Corporation grows a third of the soybeans and corn in the entire country. Hahaha, monopoly. Almost. One client that size, the lab wouldn't need any others. Now, no corporation earns the mega prefix without a little throat cutting, but Harco is about as tame as big business can get. Predictable like the Simpsons, nobody's gonna buy that they had some lab tech murdered because of corporate greed. Had she adjusted well to her new job? Yeah, they loved having her there. She never mentioned arguments or disputes, corporate politics getting rough. I don't think so. Not like I've been a good listener lately. I never got the impression that she... Look, no one I know could do this to her. There's nothing she could have done that would deserve what happened to her. It's a long shot hoping for a disgruntled character from her past to ship blame onto. But with no other suspects, I can't just reshuffle the detective's suspicions. I'll have to disprove their argument entirely. Thank you, Carlos. That was very helpful. It was? And I'd like you to try and tell me whatever you can about what happened tonight. Oh. Start at the beginning and take your time. The details are important. Alright, Miss, Morgan. I'll try, Morgan. When you're ready. We were arguing. We had been arguing a lot lately. Arguing about stupid stuff. I haven't been working, haven't been making money, haven't been pulling my weight. I was mad at myself, but more than that, I was jealous of her. Jealous over nothing. Jealous over goddamn money. The reports say you were arguing around 8 p.m.? 8? Yeah, must have been when we started. We got into it and I said a lot of things that I shouldn't have. I said one thing that I really, really shouldn't have. Crossed the line and we both knew it, so I left. You left? Yeah, walked out the front door. Thought some fresh air might help me cool off. Help me figure out what to say to make it up to her. Of course, the air wasn't fresh, just humid. Thick like mud. While I was pissing away the time, Diane was... Did you bring your phone with you or any other electronics? No. I kinda stormed off. Didn't even take my key fobs. Didn't even lock the door behind me. With optics down, traffic and street level cameras won't help him. That leaves... I feel so bad for Carlos. Holy shit. You have an argument with your girlfriend, and then you leave for fresh air, and you come back and she's fucking dead. That's awful. But like, if, like timing wise, right? If you stepped out for fresh air and then like, she got shot somewhere like right at the end of 9 p.m., right? Yeah. Girlfriend gets scouted and he's like jealous and he's out of work and like they have arguments over it. That makes sense that he's like upset, right? And then he leaves a little bit before 9, leaves the door unlocked without thinking about it because he's mad. And then whoever else comes in, and then there's a gap of 8 minutes where after people are calling because of a gunshot and then silence, there's a gap of 8 minutes for him to come back and find her body. So, I mean, that feels pretty accurate, right? Yeah. Did you go through a checkpoint or talk to anyone with modded eyes? Did you buy anything, cash or credit? No, not even a vending machine. Not even a damn vending machine, huh? I may have met my match. How can anyone be this unlucky? That's quite unfortunate. I just wanted quiet at the time, wanted to wallow in it, really. Sorry if I don't have all the details straight. My head is. My exact route would help. The cams probably. What is it? So there's no cameras. Optics was what? Can that even happen? He is the most unlucky man in existence. Oh my god. And there's no other proof that you were out at the time Diane was killed. Meaning you've got no alibi. This can't. Listen, I didn't do this, I couldn't. Carlos, I'm the one person you don't have to try and convince. After all, I'm your lawyer. So let's just get it all out there and see what we've got to work with. Right. Now you said you left to clear your head. So what made you come back? I came back because I heard a noise. A loud noise. Didn't know what it was. But it was loud and it scared me. And it came from the direction of our apartment. I was walking back at first. But at some point I must have started running because when I got back I was so out of breath. And when I saw that the front door was open, something dropped in my chest and my lungs wouldn't... You live on the first floor, right? Yeah, first floor apartment, street facing entrance. That's important information because that... Like it... Okay, so like it said like from the front door, right? But then there was that mirror right in front of the window, which is kind of odd. We were proud of that when we first moved in. Like it was some kind of big deal. From the hallway I saw her, but I didn't realize. I never thought that she was... The lights were off, the whole room was a mess. I thought we had been robbed or had fallen or there was broken glass, furniture knocked over. She was... I called her name and she didn't move. Checked her pulse and she was still warm. Her blood was warm. And I saw... the gun. It looked so heavy, but I thought it had to be fake because I didn't want it to be real. Is that why you picked it up? What? Picked it up. I didn't touch that thing. I didn't shoot her, damn it. Okay. We are getting a completely different thing now. Doing what I do, you hear a lot of lies. White lies, blatant lies, hasty lies, bad lies especially. For me, it's always been easy to spot a lie, but it can be hard to know what to do about it. I have all the proof I need in my files, but he's nervous and defensive. And none of this works if he doesn't trust me. Alt, heads up, stay up to date of details. Oh, clients notice that you don't know what you're talking about. They'll stop giving you any credit. Ah, okay. You did touch the gun, Carlos. That's just a fact, and we know because it is just prints. Hold on. Let me... Yeah, just... Yeah, of your print... Yeah, prints is the best one here. It's a fact that your fingerprints are on that gun. What? But I didn't do this. I wasn't thinking. I was just... Carlos, all I'm saying is that you picked it up. That's all. Would you believe me if I said I didn't realize it was a gun? That explains how his prints got on the gun, but not in a way that would satisfy the police. Still, if all he did was hold the gun... So stupid, I know what a gun looks like, but seeing it in my own home right in front of... You were in shock, Carlos. You still are. The police came in some time after that. I don't remember much of what they said. Things started moving fast, it seemed like. The rest of my night went probably the way you'd expect. Carlos, you admit to having a verbal argument with Diane, but you said you were surprised to see the room trashed when you got back. To clarify, you're saying that you two never had a physical fight? What? Physical? We never fought. We never fought like that. Did the police say that we did? They assumed as much. Me and Say also assumed that the room was disheveled well before the shooting occurred. So there is signs of a struggle, and it's not from the argument, so... Considering what else Carlos has told me, what else did they assume? What is it? I'd like you to take a look at something for me. The crime scene. Oh. It's an AR module built from data taken as the police entered, so... Right, it's just that. It's just data, Carlos. No grisly details. Okay, let me see it. Take your time. Man. Alright, I think I've got it. That's how the police found things. Oh wait, sorry, that's Morgan. That's how the police found things. Now close your eyes and think back to how the room looked when you left. Try and focus on what's out of place. Alright. I'll take notes. You just say whatever comes to mind. I don't remember exactly where everything was. But well, the mirror was upright, of course. Okay, so the mirror was right there. Well, kind of in a weird way. And the clock was still on the wall. The chair got knocked over at some point, and the bed got tossed, the cushions torn, the urn fell. Other than that. No, sorry, that's all that stands out to me. Like, I see, like so? What a drawing. Morgan. I love your artistic vision. What's wrong? Something out of place? No comment. Carlos, you need to trust your instinct. If anything seems off, don't be afraid to speak up. We need to frame this. This needs to go into the Met. It's just, I guess I assumed your notes would be making edits to the AR. Well, I suppose that works too. Sorry, I didn't mean... I think your drawing was pretty good, considering... This is going on... I think he's confused, like, because the art piece and also, hey, I'd like to change the subject now, Carlos. It was beautiful, Morgan. You did so good in MS Paint. Right. Let's talk about the letter that was found on your desk. Letter? What do you mean? I mean this letter here. Do you recognize it? Because the police are calling it a confession. She's gonna let him get convicted just for that. My defense attorney got so mad that her drawings are bad that she's just letting me go to jail for homicide, bro. Hold on. I'm pulling this up really quick. What is the virtual work release? Suspected fuck! I wanna know about this though. Whatever it did, it made someone kill themselves. So I guess that is enough for what virtual work release is. Police are calling it a confession. A confession, but this is just a note to self. Pardon? Look, when we fight, I lose my temper, say things I don't mean to. So this morning I tried writing things down so I'd have a script to stick to. So I could apologize to her instead of just fighting with her. Carlos, you say in the note that you hurt them? That's I broke her fidget tubbies. Hello? Oh no! Her what? Her what? Her fidget. Oh my god, they're so cute! Not the fidget tubbies! No! How could you? That looks like Chikawa! No! I would also be apologizing for this, Carlos! How could you? They're these collectible ceramic character things. They're supposed to be like tactile, you use them as paperweights, or jail for 1,000 years. Yeah, no, I would be about this came out. Wait, hold on. When was Chikawa made? Chikawa, when did you start existing? Of the Devil, when did you start existing? Hold on. I need to look this up really quick. I need to know when Chikawa was written. Original run was 2020. Wasn't this? Release date for this was 20. Has it really? No, I thought that I saved it before February this year. Is this supposed to look like Chikawa or not? This is beautiful. Hold on. Okay, let's continue. I just wanted to know. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That's so sad. Not the fidget tubbies. Hold on. Or conversation starters. Conversation starters. She loved those little things. They're not worth a damn. You can buy them at any flea market or garage sale, but they meant a lot to her, and I broke them. Man. Yeah, no, I'd be writing a confession note about the fidget tubbies too. I mean, I was pissy at the time, but the goddamn piece of shit rental arm. I hardly know where I'm swinging at half the time. Got so angry, I just ripped it off and tossed it in my room. That cheap, dusty, worthless. Okay, let's say that he did break her frigid duckies with his replacement arm. What does that change? Nothing at the moment. There's not enough detail in the note to prove what his intent was when he sat down to write it. But if the police insist on claiming it's a confession for the heartbreak killings anyway, would I even bother to sweep them up? I felt so. Alright, Carlos, thanks for answering my questions. I'm gonna call the police back in here and I'm going to get this cleared up for you. What? That's it? That's it? Oh, okay. Although, before I do that, I do have to ask. What do you know about the Heartbreak Killer? Here we go. I was expecting something like this when I read the note. I was like, oh, they broke something important and cute. Poor thing. They'll think it's Ultraman. Like, I was thinking like, oh, forgery thing with like handwriting. If they're referring to breaking, like, you don't confess to murder by saying that you broke something unless you are genuinely like having a mental breakdown, I suppose. But even then, I don't think that you'd frame it like that. Heartbreak? You mean that psycho that was trending all month? I mean, as much as anyone, I guess. I haven't been getting out much, but sure, everybody's on edge. A guy like that out there. He shoots people through the heart, right? Police have you know how we could, like, I guess, like, you know, there's the nerves of it all, so I doubt that it would be permissible evidence for Carlos to shoot something at a target range. Yeah, hurt someone, and that'd probably be emotionally, yeah. The language of the letter just doesn't match up with an actual murder convention, I feel. Police kept the victim's appearances far away from any upstanding news sources, so unless he was already following the murders, Carlos wouldn't notice any resemblance to his girlfriend. I mean, she was shot in the chest, but that just doesn't mean anything, does it? He's this slow on the uptake, it's going to be a real shock when those officers walk in here, accuse him of being a serial killer. I'll just have to squash the theory as quickly and definitively as possible. So true. It's 4 a.m. I didn't realize you could smoke in here. Girl? In the coffee mug? Okay. Technically, I can smoke wherever I want. For a fee. Girl, you cannot be taking the 999 credit fee on every single time you want to smoke in a non-smoking area. You are a public defense. You do not get paid that much. Girl. Oh, I guess so. Nervous? Don't be. I'm the one who's on the clock. Alright, I'm sure this isn't your first time doing this. No, of course not. It will be my first homicide defense, though. Oh. Why does everyone always think the first time's so goddamn important? Hey, cheer up. I've got relevant experience in other areas. Oh. And, what areas are those? You ever gamble, Carlos? No, man. Ma'am, I never go anywhere near loot boxes. As it should be. Do not get addicted to gambling. Won't touch the stuff. Don't even worry about it, K9. I meant more like playing cards. Oh, well then, no to that too. I've actually got pretty terrible luck. Could have fooled me. Well, what I do is a lot like poker, Carlos. Poker's nice because even if you're dealt nothing but crap all night long, you can still win. Which makes things pretty fun. I don't play poker and I have a god-awful poker face, so there's about to be, I feel like there's a lot of poker references here that I will not pick up on. Okay, so do you have a good poker face? I like to think so. And are you lucky? Only when the stakes are high. And in this metaphor, we're playing poker. States the dealer. I should play a gambling guy. I think that gambling aesthetics are so fun. I know fuck all about card games like that, so if only. No, the state's more like the house. You mean like the house always wins? Yes, they're very good at it. Winning, I mean. That's why they're up there and we're down here. That's why they're the house. Such an intimidating rumble there. So what do we do? I'm learning through osmosis. Friends keep convincing me. I need to start learning through osmosis. I mostly just I like blackjack because it's really easy to pick up. But I have god awful poker face, so I'd be screwed. The framing is so scary, don't even worry about it. We play the cards we're dealt as best we can. Win more hands than we lose. Keep it up and eventually someone will come over and tap the dealer on the shoulder, whisper something in their ear, and then we'll be politely asked to leave. The aesthetics are cool, I love playing cards, actual gambling is so evil to my brain, why is it all complicated? Yeah, no, I feel that. I play Uno, does that count? We can play Uno. That's basically the same as poker. That doesn't sound very triumphant. The house always wins. So our definition of victory is more like, don't lose. Thanks, Morgan. But I guess I was more asking what should I say? Just leave all the talking to me. So that's the strategy. What's up? You know there's a saying about gamblers with strategies? Yo, ready to confess yet? Cause I already woke up the DA. Already? She must be new. The district attorneys have final say on whether or not a case is brought to trial. Only fair, since they're the ones who end up having to actually prove the damn thing. Most of them prefer simple guilty pleas over long, protracted trials. And they all dislike having their time wasted. Reyes is just pissed off at DA, God bless. Unfortunately, then you'll have to call them back because my client is not guilty. And frankly, I'm not even sure you have enough to hold him here. Right. What she said. You've got a weird sense of humor, counselor. I look-y just cheat when it comes to card games. People don't have to, and yet you're here confessing this. And now I know that if we ever play a card game in real life, I need to watch you. I've got my eyes on you, Kane. Different generations, I guess, before my time kind of thing. I'm very serious when it comes to defending a man's innocence, detective. Counselor, we have your client's written confession. His written confession. Let's start there. Okay, we'll be happy to. Look at my smile, not my hands. Don't worry about it. I'm looking at your fucking hands. The thrust of every argument starts with the facts of what's already known and agreed upon. Public knowledge for every player at the table. It's pretty simple, counselor. Real paint by numbers stuff. See, we found a note at his apartment with his fingerprints on it. apologizing for how he hurt them all so bad. Now, how are you planning on spitting that? Those are the facts. I've been building up my hand all night. And now I've got the weapons to answer anything they try and throw at me. Well, my client did write that note, and it was an apology, but not for murder. He was apologizing for... Analyze the facts. I can't wait for this. Select the card that best answers the argument and place it into the slot on the right. Mouse over your opponent's portrait for a reminder on what key point you're answering. No need to do so, I get nervous. Oh, but... It's the debris. Here you go. He was simply apologizing for this. The hell is that? I found myself asking that same exact question. What are we looking at here? Something from the crime scene? This diagram of the room is created from data you captured, right? Pure, non-GMO, augmented reality crime scene data, yeah. What's non-GMO? Not much these days. That's funny. Okay. Notice anything out of place? Yeah, the whole room's full of busted shit. It's the scene of a murder. Full of busted shit for sure. But I was more referring to the unidentified ceramic debris found on the western side of the room. The hell is that? Ceramic debris, huh? Must be from the vase that got tossed. Actually, that's not possible. Oh? Because that vase wasn't damaged. It's not possible for that debris to have come from the vase, because that vase is still pristine. How is that? How is that possible? Oh, we're all confused, I see. The lady at that garage sale told me it was so old and delicate. Damn it, the one time I tried to thrift shop on my own. Well, so what? What does it even matter? If the vase doesn't have a scratch on it, then the debris must have come from somewhere else. That debris is what my client wrote that apology over. You're saying that confession was his apology for not vacuuming? Carlos is so funny. I'm so sorry, Chikawa. I miss the goofy ass music that played during that. I am, because that pile of rubble is all that remains of the victim's collection of Fidget-Attack. There we go! Fidget-Tubbies. What he said. Mr. Flat broke the victim's ceramic figures by accident, and this impassioned note to self was just his attempt at scripting out an apology. Can you prove that? We're taking this seriously? As much as I wish we weren't. We're all in agreement that my client wrote that note, and we all can plainly see that there's ceramic debris at the crime scene. Now, since it couldn't have come from the vase, it must have come from the collectibles. Simple, right? The hell are you on about? The entire room was trashed, as the arcs clearly shows. Those fidget tubbies must have gotten pulverized during the struggle too. You really gonna claim that he sat down to write an apology for breaking her toys after gunning her down? Not a bad train of thought, but I can do better. No, those collectibles were destroyed much earlier than that, and there's proof. Okay. Hold on, let me save really quick. We're gonna save over this second one. What do we got here? Because I'm trying to remember. Not murder weapon. Stiffen. Oh yeah, it's the rental. Meow. Hello, PJ. Those things. Okay. Just take a closer look at the rental you took into custody. Huh? One swipe of your finger should show exactly how devastating it was to the Fickle Buddy ecosystem. It's fidget tubbies. Whatever. You did take it into custody. I'm sure your text found ceramic debris on it, yes? Now that you mention it. Fine, whatever. He broke them with his arm while he was killing her. Happy? Overjoyed, because even a cheap arm's got an operating system that logged the last time it was worn, right? Right. See, I happened to spot a footnote on the lab report Said that rental hadn't been used since the AM. Whose side are you on, old man? It's gotten pretty late, Sunshine. Just trying to save us all some time where I can. Well, thank you for your service. Well, thank you for your service. Are you seriously buying this crap? Just look at how scrawled, how panicked that note is. You expect me to believe that he was that upset over a fidget tubby collection? Reyes absolutely collects fidget tubbies, right? Cause she corrected it? Do you think she has the Chikawa one? Do you think that this is devastating to her? One that hasn't even been braided? Setting aside Detective Ray's surprising depth of knowledge when it comes to collectibles, I would be that upset, yeah. You're correct, they had no real monetary value. It would be odd for Carlos to be so shaken over their loss. But so what? So what? After all, that's not panic you're seeing on that page. No, the only reason that note looks the way it does is because Carlos is right-handed and he doesn't have a fucking right hand. Because Carlos is right-handed. Yes, I am. Did they not know that? Shouldn't that be on my permanent record or something? So the reason why that note looks like a silent wall of scribbles is because he had to use his left hand to write it. He is also sensitive, but you know, I tend to think better writing than typing. And I need to get used to using my left anyway. I just thought it could be good practice. Taking that into account alongside the ceramics, your slam dunk confession is looking about as watertight as a fishnet. Okay, fine. Forget about the confession. Congratulations, counselor. You've established that your client's remorseless. Now let's get back to the reality of the situation. Here are the facts. We found your client at the scene of the crime, wearing a coat covered in the victim's blood, right next to a big old goddamn gun that just so happened to have his fingerprints on it. That's right, that coat is. What, you're gonna claim that it's not his, that he actually wears an extra small? She's trying to bait me in her typical low-key fashion. Sorry, I'm reminded that my friend had a mysterious extra small men's coat at their apartment the other day when I visited, and they had no fucking clue who it belonged to. Anyway, completely unrelated to all of this. Won't always have the stronger hand. Sometimes the best you can do is hold your tongue and avoid overcommitting. Try to lose as little credit as possible while you wait for a more favorable chance. Must have something, no sense playing into it. Okay, so you can give it up. Came with the laundry? Yeah, they don't know where that jacket came from, so. You know, I can vaguely write with my left hand because I wanted to hold my girlfriend's hand at the time's hand who sat on my. That's really sweet. Wait, hold on. That's really cute. I love that. That's very kind. I'm currently learning how to use a left-handed mouse at work because the left-handed the mouse that they gave me is left-handed and ergonomic. So, of course, I was struggling. At least it was readable. Yeah. That's all you can ask for when you're writing with your non-dominant hand. Using a left-handed mouse is weird when you're right-handed. Something you'd like to ask me, Detective? I'm just curious, what'll it be next? You gonna tell me he actually wears an extra small? Is it? Wait, hold on. Let me save this because I'm not entirely sure exactly how this works. Really quick. Ah, no! Whoops, I fucked up. Let me just. Okay, let me. I think that's good. Okay. I'll just skip forward. Yeah, I fucked up. Oh good. Wrong button. We're good now. That the control skip is really fast though. God bless. Thank goodness for that. Okay. Say. Okay, so it is just like making me choose say at the time. Gee, Carlos, do you? No. Yeah, sure, there's no evil twin you've forgotten to mention? No. No, I'm afraid not. Not even going to go for a mysterious third party at the scene of the crime? To prove his innocence, I will need to get there eventually. Going there now without hard evidence, we don't go just yet. But there is that gap of like 10 minutes where nobody was there. I have no evidence of a third person at this time. Damn right you don't. It's clear as day in the arcs. No evidence of anyone but Carlos being there that night. So keep dreaming. It's obvious you had something there. I wasn't going to win that hand either way. At least I didn't overstep and take any more damage than I had to. Not contesting any of that, Detective. My client freely admits to holding that gun. He picked it up in confusion after coming home to find a brutal crime scene. Which was not smart. Hey. But not illegal either. And that's all? He had her blood all over his clothes. Yeah, he did. Right. Do you have those clothes on hand, by the way? The lab finished with them a while ago. What are you getting at? It'll be easier to just show you. Would you mind getting them for me? I think the other thing with, you know, blood on the clothes, why is he like stopping and like, you know, incriminating himself more? That's a good question. You know what? Sure, I could use the fresh air. Stinks of bullshit in here anyway. And here I thought the room smelled like... organ. What are you doing? My foot's covered in her blood. I remember that much. So it doesn't like make me look really bad. Just relax, Carlos. I'm pretty sure that's impossible. You're innocent. And that means having more evidence will always help you, not hurt you. Really? Really? Not really. Plenty of innocent people in prison. People with bad luck or bad lawyers. I don't think that we made this point directly right now, but like I feel like we'll figure it out. People shouldn't count on the truth to come out easy. More often than not, it takes coaxing. What was it that reminded me of? All right, here it is. Our bloodstained jacket, fresh from the lab. Is that... Okay, that's on the right... That's on the left arm of the jacket. So, what's your angle? You gonna tell us this is actually just hot sauce? Yeah, it's hot sauce. It's paint and hot sauce. No, that would be silly. She actually thought it over. So, what the hell's your point? Hey! Sorry, just got thrown off by the turn of good fortune. What good fortune? You should thank the detective for bringing you your jacket, Carlos. She's just proven your innocence. My client was arrested wearing this coat. He would have been wearing it at the time of the murder. It has the victim's blood on it, who we know died when she was shot in the heart by a gun that happens to be an old world pre-tagging firearm. And so this coat proves that he couldn't have been the shooter. Is there a gas leak in here? In what world does that make any sense? Sense happens to be key here. I just need to draw their attention to what they can. Okay. Okay. This is a good question as to where the fuck we're going with this. How... See, I can... Okay. We're saving here because I'm like, Let's do this. Because I genuinely don't know what the fuck we're on, girl. Help me. Let's see. So there's... Right, what do we know about the code? Code is not in here. Let's see. Because there's the... Wait, oh wait, no, I know. The smell. I'm going to go with the smell because it was humid outside. Right? So you can tell that it was outside. Right? Is this what we're going for? Either that or... Hold on. Let me see. It's either that or feel, because it would still be damp. Sleeve, it's not about the blood, it's about the fact that he was outside. Evidence. Flat scone. Blood on the sleeve. Wearing one okay. Do we have the, where's the, where would the, I feel like it would either be that it's like slightly wet or like, or that you can, or that you can smell those. So where would the timeline be for that? I'm trying to remember what exactly he said about going outside, because he just said that it was humid. Shoot, there's not really anything specifically there, but I don't think it's sight. What are we thinking? For humidity, would it be, I feel like feeling is more, it was humid and the air wasn't fresh. So I feel like smell, it's one of these two, and I'm not, like, here's the thing against that. A smell would probably have lifted at some point in the several hours that have passed. Feel might be the same. Yeah. I'm going to start with smell because that was my first thing. And then I do have this saved, right? I feel like this is fair enough because I know that it's, I'm pretty sure that this is where it's going. Yeah, okay, we're good. Just do me one favor, detective. Tell me what you smell. I don't smell anything except dried blood. Exactly. The coat smells like blood, but it doesn't smell of cigarette. That's what I've been smelling. Okay, I didn't think that that was where it was going at all. Yes, Detective London, I was smoking earlier. Could you rejoin the conversation? I've been listening. You wanted me to smell the jacket? If you would. Let's see. Huh. No gunpowder. Oh, well. Wrong conclusion, like wrong, pathway, correct conclusion. But yeah, no gunpowder smell. But what? What about gunpowder? Oh, don't blame yourself for you're not noticing. This was before your time. You can't be more than a few years older than me. But not before your partners, it seems. See, gunpowder's weak by today's standards, but it's still volatile stuff. Hard to store, prone to misfiring. Yeah. And when it goes bang, it leaves behind an awful lot of evidence. Yeah, it used real gunpowder, which you can most of them smell. The hell is she talking about, London? Modern firearms like the ones we carry use electricity, magnetism, even air pressure or sound waves. They've got more accuracy, more firepower, less recoil, less noise, and they don't leave behind any residue. Gunpowder residue? Talk my ear off about how difficult it is tracking down a gun that doesn't leave behind digital traces. But a revolver like this one? It'd leave gunpowder on the skin of whoever fired it for days. So then his coat. If you don't trust your noses, you can check the lab reports. I think if they had found any gunpowder on my client or his clothes, they'd have taken the time to highlight it. It's okay. I wasn't thinking that that was where we were going because I wasn't thinking about that aspect of all of the guns being so old. But whatever. That just means he washed off after shooting her, or he changed his clothes. It was 10 minutes. That's not impossible, but it would be pretty pointless. Huh? His jacket and his left hand were blood-soaked when your officers found him. Would he really go through all the effort to get rid of something as subtle as gunpowder residue? How would he do that? Not enough time, but also, yeah, why would he immediately get his everything soaked in blood? Just to get the victim's blood all over himself afterwards. I love the little donk thing that hits people in the head. It's beautiful. In light of these details, I'd like to formally request that you reconsider the charges Mr. Flat is facing as soon as possible. Whoa. They're faltering now. Should topple over at any moment. The letter was mostly icing on the cake for them. But that gun is all they had to link to Carlos to any of the shootings. So if it looks like he never actually fired the gun, I'll admit, things were a little dicey there at times. But once I was able to grasp the situation, the smaller pieces fell into place easily enough. I love Carlos. Not my cleanest work by far, but overall I'd say... Did she get a message? Wait, did they actually manage to find it? Something you'd like to share, Detective Reyes? You're good. Twisting the truth into knots, making the facts work for you. Yeah, that's my job. Thanks. But your luck just ran out. Because the net scrubbers found a cam active at the exact moment of the shooting, and right now, I'm staring at a photo of the killer. Yeah, man? Wanna bet? That's fire of you? A photo of the shooter. If she had that, we wouldn't still be talking. But now she's just pulling this out of her ass. She's got something from the scrubbers. Yeah, she must have something, so we're gonna stay for now. Hold on. Let me go back and save again. Yep. I could quick save, but I'm lazy. That's the first menu. Didn't we establish that there was an optics blackout during the shooting? Sure, there was. But this isn't from optics. Good thing I held my tongue. As I thought, the scrubbers must have managed to dig up something from outside the network. Which means... Party's over, counselor. Feast your eyes on this. Okay, that's, okay, man. Well, okay, the quality is lacking. And yet, there it is. They managed to find a quarter needle of evidence in a whole city block of haystack. Girl, that doesn't show a face. What are the goddamn chances? No, with the scale their tools operate on. I guess the chances are, as always, in their favor. Alright, this isn't good, but it's a far cry from the worst case scenario I envisioned. That doesn't look like anything, girl! What do you mean? You could even say I got lucky, which means the stakes are... Well, it's a little bit... blurry. Don't look at me, I didn't take the damn thing. Is the quick swipe not the lazier options? Maybe I'm not pro. I just don't want to go and look, the quick save thing is right there, and I haven't bothered looking down. Technically, no one took it. Looks like at the time of the shooting, a neighbor was on their phone. Probably venting about how crazy the couple across the way was acting. But if their phone was on, its camera would be on. So he managed to get this shot through the window. Where to begin? Far away, unfocused, ultra low resolution, zoomed in, blurred, color shifted. It's so compressed it looks like it's from another century. You can compare heights and physicality. There are tools that could enhance this image any further, and I can count the pixels on one hand. You can kiss its admissibility in court goodbye. Can't honestly claim that you can identify my client from this image, and there's no way in hell you could get this past a judge. Yeah, you're probably right, we couldn't, but I think I know a DA that could. Either way, it doesn't seem like your client's leaving this police station anytime soon. That photo, what the hell is happening to me? Think I know a DA that could? Don't be so modest, old man. We have photo evidence of a left-handed shooter standing in the hallway at the same time the whole neighborhood heard a gunshot. And who do we know had their left-hand fingerprints all over that gun? You're referring to my client. You think? We've established he wasn't wearing his modern arm at all tonight. So he must have shot with his left. Yes, and we've also established that he's weak with his left side. A left side that had no gunpowder whatsoever. Forensics will never be perfect, counselor. Sometimes we miss things. Sometimes you take a walk through the rain, and when you finally get where you were going, you somehow end up dry. Bah, they know the humidity thing. hold on. Let's pull up the, hold on. I'll pull up the thing really quick. Surely they wouldn't be saying that if they could see the right arm, right? The real Quill should have A, done something to him, and B, hold on. Brain cell. Can we lock in for just a second? Okay, the photo is not in here yet, I'm assuming. Yeah, I don't see it. Oh wait, no, here it is, here it is. You can't really, like, that looks like a left arm to me, but it's so low resolution that's like, fuck. Unknown citizen's phone. It's not set to photo mode at the time, so it's been cleaned up as much as possible. Okay. Horrible, horrible comp. But that doesn't mean it didn't rain. All of which is say before judge or jury, photographic evidence outweighs a failed sniff test. Carlos is innocent. I know he is, but that photo shows a left-handed shooter. Carlos is innocent. That photo is real. If both are true, that means that the photo doesn't show what it appears to show. So, at a loss for words? Never! I'm just confused about one thing. Where was this photo taken from exactly? Exactly. Positional data is usually only accurate to the nearest public router. If we DN on the phone's owner and ask them where... Why bother with any of that? Ballistics and common sense tells us that the perp shot from the room's doorway. The front entrance of the... No? Wait. No, it isn't. The clock is behind the mirror. What? The clock isn't on that wall, is it? Am I crazy? Come here. Debris on top flats. The clock is over there. Yeah, the layout's wrong. Where did my photograph go? Oh, okay, it's all the way down here this time for some reason. Yeah, no, the clock isn't on that door. So that's not the same place. Hold on. I'm having such a beautiful time. Oh, okay, so it resorts how? Yeah, I know. And even with, like, you know, all of that, the clock clearly has fallen behind the mirror, which there's no way that it, like, could have got all the way over there, right? Yeah. Front entrance of the apartment. There's a hallway that runs back to the bedroom. Okay. This is this, there's this hallway here. We're looking straight at the shooter, so it's pretty obvious that this was taken from across the north window. Nuh-uh. From the north? This is from the north, then why can we clearly see the clock? Yippee! It's not that complicated. The neighbor who got the shot must live on the other side of the street. So we're looking into the bedroom from the north window. If she's wrong, I should seize on the opportunity to start turning the tide. You're wrong. I'm afraid that's simply not possible, detective. The photo has to have been taken from the west. What kind of bluff is that supposed to be? The good detectives are just misinformed here, and I need to take advantage of it. Time to press the initiative. The hell do you mean this was taken from the west? The autopsy tells us that the victim was shot from the doorway. Your officer's ARCS data tells us the precise location of everything in the room at the time they arrived. And now your photo has shown us the exact moment of the shooting. And? Yeah. And all that together, that tells us this photo must have been taken through the west window. As long as you consider the statement. Let's take one look at the clock in that photo. The clock? What about it? I'm so glad. I love when you and me. I love this. I love being a detective. This is beautiful. The clock, huh? Seems like London's got an idea. If he's mistaken, I could pounce on it to keep my tempo high. This photo's taken right before the shooting, so... Wait, don't tell me the time of death is wrong. Oh yeah, that's The time of death is correct because he left the apartment at the time. Right? Hold on. Is this? Hold on. I'm pretty sure that that's what's expected here. That's a good question, Detective London. The answer's no. The autopsy, the clock, and the neighbors all agree. The time of death was 9 p.m. Right. No, the clock is showing the right time. It's like right at 9. So then, what the hell were you on about? There's a clock on the wall in this photo, analog style, and it reads 9 o'clock. 9 p.m., the time of the shooting. The hell's so special about that? Nothing. There's nothing odd about the time the clock reads. But do you remember there being a clock in the room? What? Actually, I don't recall there being a clock. That makes sense. You wouldn't recall seeing a clock, because when the police secured the scene, the clock had already been knocked onto the floor. And? The only clock in that room is in the northeastern corner. And my client has informed me that before the crime, it was hung up on the eastern wall. Like so. What the hell is that supposed to be? An artistic rendition? I think your art is beautiful, Morgan. It's okay. You did so well. It's, very, very distinct. If you had information on how the crime scene was before the shooting, why didn't you just add that to the ARCs? And show you my hand, just because discovery law compels us to share info doesn't mean we have to play fair, detective. Slipped my mind. I'll do that now. The important thing is, if that clock was on the eastern wall before the shooting occurred, then this photo must be looking through the western window to see it. Don't start getting ahead of yourself. The victim was shot at 9 p.m., the same time that this photo was taken of the shooter. But you want to claim that the clock's still on the eastern wall when it would have been knocked down during the fighting? Call your logic backwards, detective. Your precious photo shows that the room was pristine at the time of the shooting. And there's one other piece of evidence showing that proves exactly how the cards fell. Okay. Oh, fuck. We'll say the room was trashed before the shooting. That was already there. That was, not... It has to be the glass, right? Because the shards are on the victim, so it has to be that it happened after the shooting. Glass shards? What about them? Nothing much, really. Only that they're on top of the victim's body. And not under it. If the glass fell on top of the victim's body, then that would mean that she was dead on the ground before the room got trashed. But that doesn't make any sense. Why would anyone trash the room afterwards? It's a good question, Carlos. Luckily, it's the detectives who have to delve into the minds of the criminally insane, not us. Tell me, detectives, were there any signs of a struggle at the other crime scenes? Other crime scenes? No, nothing like that. Those attacks would have been over in a matter of seconds. So, what did you think when you saw the mess in the room? That this was personal and things had gotten complicated. Shit happens. Shit does happen, detective. But in this case, it seems there's been a general misconception about the order in which shit happened. So what if the room didn't get tossed over until afterwards? He still shot her! And we have a photo right here. And I'm glad you do, detective, because that photo proves my client's innocence. Huh? Proving that it wasn't my client who pulled the trigger is difficult, and maybe more importantly for all of us, time-consuming. Thanks to your photo, I can instead prove that it couldn't have been my client who pulled the trigger. Because the man in that photo can't possibly be Carlos. I don't know about that one just yet, but we'll see. Like hell it can't. The glass shards prove that the room was pristine at the time of the shooting. We know that until the room was tossed, that clock was on the eastern wall, which means that this photo of the shooter was taken from the west. Okay? Back to this shit, that's impossible. The only hallway in that apartment runs from north to south. The only person with prints on that gun is your client. And the only fact that matters is he used it to murder 6 innocent people. You're a very honest person, detective. Excuse me? That's why you're such a shitty gambler. Played your cards too early, and now you can steal the pot right out from under you. I have no idea what we're on about with this one. But, so there's the clock has moved between the photo and the photo was taken at 9 p.m., right? So this has to be, like, there's a weird thing with the clock because the clock is, like, underneath is it the southern window? Underneath the northern window right now, but it's next to the doorway here. You're right about the hallway's orientation. Happy Bride. You're right about the prints. And this HK figure has claimed 6 lives. But we weren't looking at the hallway in that photo. What? What we're seeing is... It has to be the window, right? Wait, no. Oh my god. I don't know. Okay. Oh, it's gotta be the shine from the mirror then, right? Yeah. Those things. Oh my god. Like this part is weird, right? Like the fact that it's like it looks like blinds, right? But the only thing that it has to be so it's from the west window and it has the clock and the mirror right there. So it has to be the mirror, right? It's gotta be the mirror. Those things. Okay. What is that? You're trying the glass shards again? Sort of. By the way, do you recall where those glass shards came from? Yeah, sure. They came from a standing mirror. A mirror that, at the time of the shooting, stood across the room from the western window. But then that would mean, at that angle from that viewpoint, it would reflect the hallway. So we're not seeing a shooter with a gun in their left hand. We're seeing a killer take aim with their right arm. Oh, wait. Oh, okay, so we're looking at the reflection from... Okay. And as we all know, my client hasn't had a working right arm in a number of weeks, and hasn't worn his rental since this morning. So I meant what I said about that photo. Yes, seeing the hallway through the mirror. I'm glad that it was recovered, because it just proved that my client couldn't possibly have committed this crime. Good job, Morgan. I'm proud of you. That should be the end of it. Except it looks like Detective Reyes really is a novice gambler. Sunk cost has got its teeth in her now, clawing up her spine, whispering wounded pride in her ear. It's a cold sweat, hot palms kind of fever. The impotent, irrational fury of losing something you thought was guaranteed yours. But lucky for you, Detective, I'm well versed in shock therapy. You look dissatisfied, Detective Reyes. That's one word for it. Then allow me to put a nice bow on everything for you. Oh, okay, we're going to in summary. Yippee! My client's so-called confession was just a note to self. Police found him in shock, reeling at the death of his girlfriend, and arrested him for being next to a gun he forensically couldn't have fired. After being confronted with these facts, you receive photographic evidence of the exact moment of the shooting. And instead of utilizing said photo to track down the real killer, you tried to complain it depicted my client. A man without the requisite limb, standing in an architecturally impossible hallway. If we're bullying her? Oh, we're bullying the fuck out of her. That's... He could have had a backup arm, he could have stolen one. A little stubbornness can be charming, but this kind of desperation is ugly. It's getting late. Time to bare my fangs. A bit. That's the best you got. Even a bare bones prosthetic off the black market needs to be attuned to an individual's nervous system. He'd have to bring it into a clinic, which would have left a record on his shoulder OS, a record that you won't find, and he'd still have to somehow have gotten rid of it before the police arrived. SOP at the scene of a violent crime calls for full spectrum scanning of the entire building and 100 meters around it minimum. So where, Detective Reyes, did he manage to hide a cybernetic arm from your drones in the time between the shooting and his arrest? Hell yeah. Threw really hard. Don't worry about it, man. Oh, that's intimidating. Well. Oh. Any objections? Ahaha. Detective? God. Damn it. Yippee! Good work. Show me your hand flat. Oh, show me your hand flat. You're uncuffing me. In light of the evidence, we have no reason to hold you. Now I gotta go call the DA and tell her I made a mistake. Not we made a mistake, huh? Listen, kid, you should know. Detective? Lost my train of thought. But hey. Your attorney's a real tiger, and she just fought like hell for you. Make sure you thank her properly. Public defense doesn't pay that well. Yeah. That's kind of you to say, Detective. But my work is its own reward. Oh, so you're insane. You're a special kind of insane yourself, Morgan. Sure. I feel exactly the same, Counselor. What happens now? I'll have to speak with the DA about the dismissal, and there's still some paperwork we'll need to go through. Basically, you're free to go. Congrats! You get to leave the casino with your kneecaps intact. Yay. But what am I supposed to do? The detectives will continue their investigation. Their investigation into heartbreak, huh? Yes. When the authorities are satisfied with their examination of the body, she'll be handed over to the next of kin. And then you can make funeral arrangements. No, that's not what Diane being gone is bad enough. But a serial killer, it's like she died of the flu. It doesn't happen anymore. People die of the flu all the time, but, I know what you mean. I can't make sense of it. So what am I supposed to do? Hell if I know. There's some contacts I could give you. Services, professionals, doctors. No, you've done more than enough for me. When you got here, I was too tired to even defend myself. To try and convince them that I didn't. You saved me. Thank you. You're welcome, Carlos, but it's my job to. No, I mean, thank you for not asking. For not asking if I killed her. Oh, Carlos. I didn't need to ask. I knew you were innocent from the start. Of course he was. After all... Hello, ma'am? That's crazy. The blood's always different. Heart's always in the same place, easy to find, hard to miss. but the blood's always different. Flowering stain unfurling towards an invisible sun. A perfectly unique bloom, only one for each of us. A Rorschach test with singular universal meaning. Vitality at its climax. Bursting forth into a red fractal consisting solely of an infinite, the end. But the comical thud of a body hitting the floor has its own kind of lowbrow appeal. It makes sense? Yeah. I like that I just immediately was just like, oh, so you're actually insane. 8:59 p.m., June 4th, 2086. Bullet number 6 of 6. The gun's empty. It's useless to me now. May as well leave it. Feels like a waste, but whatever. Finding the ammo was almost enough of a hassle to outweigh the advantages. I could sell an undagged gun for a fair bit of cash, but cash can't buy you peace of mind. Oh, don't look so surprised, lady. Moping around in the dark in here, must have only been able to see my silhouette. She think I was her boyfriend, back for an encore of that enthralling conversation? Can't ask her now. Hey, did you... that... These old pieces are so goddamn loud. And people aren't even familiar enough with the sound anymore to know to run the other way. Probably roused half the neighborhood. But I didn't see anything I could use even as a partial suppressor on the way in. Did I really not afford some throw people pillows? I used the other 5 bullets in outdoor spaces in small spheres of blind opportunity that the city's eyes couldn't think to pierce. Cramped places, usually full of trash. But this room, as cheap as it looks, is at least clean, organized, even. For the corpse adds a certain satisfying contrast. Except, there's shit on the floor. The window, there are broken pieces of something fragile and tacky. It's fine. It's just one thing out of place. Actually, it's not fine. It's actually really irritating. I kick over the stupid goddamn mirror. 5 perfect crime scenes, each of them, not a speck of evidence, nothing to go on. For the final shot, there just has to be some pile of shit in the corner ruining everything. I kick the wall. Something falls from it. Probably more tasteless bullshit. I toss over the chair, knock over the urn, tear into the sheets with my frustration and try to savor the shredding. If it can't be clean, I'll just have to lean into the messy angle. At least it will be consistent. This is all so stupid. Honestly, I'm not the ego-driven type. In fact, I pride myself on my humility. Now, was it satisfying when the first 3 went down and with single shots? Yes. But so what? I'm not made of stone. After that, I did start to actively aim for the heart, but... Ugh. Heartbreak killer? Really? Don't people have anything better to do with their time? What kind of miserable, lifeless voyeurs would obsess over something that's none of their business? All of the threads and breakdowns of a goddamn theory of crafting. Not for the heartbreak killer. Sounds like a soap opera villain from a season where the writers were on strike. I'd feel insulted by the label, but no, that's someone else's name. They came up with it. They spread it. They marketed it. Heartbreak's got nothing to do with me. Hold on. I so doubt what's her motive for killing the woman again? You got flagged for misogyny because for killing the woman. God, that's wild. Okay. We have not found that out yet. Just some reclusive, lonely, socially impotent loser who shot 6 people because... Well, I'm sure people will come up with something. They got rejected one too many times or whatever. Me, I killed those people because I saw them and I wanted to. She's insane. And I've killed a lot more than just 6. At least the room is thoroughly trashed now. I had just walked away after seeing that mess for the windows, it would have irritated me to no end. And now that it doesn't match the MO of the last vibe perfectly, it'll irritate the cops to no end instead. Good riddance, Heartbreak. You enjoy your 15 minutes in the spotlight. Really savor it. I'm going home. Hair's ready tonight. Thick. Energized. Heavily foreshadowed summer rain I can feel on every hair. They call this kind of humidity oppressive, but I disagree. The warm tension on your skin, like in those short moments just after the shower turns off, when the steam lingers. Yeah, it's always most comfortable right afterwards. Maybe there's no disagreement to be had. Oppressive things can be comforting too. Only the guilty ones run. I don't know about that, but I know I've never felt guilty about any of this. And I walk. It does up my ratings on Morgan. Yeah, I was like, was I fully expecting this? No, not really. But this is so joyous. And also it does I think that you have to be a special kind of crazy to be like, nah, I just like being a public defender, bro. They're like overworked as shit. Also, I don't know what the Poughkeepsie tapes are. K9. The moment she talked about intimacy with murder, I was like, yes, you're right. Oh, so it's recognition, K9. It's recognition. This is so joy. Don't worry about it, take it. I'm having a joyous time talking about murder, and I love this redheaded woman. This is great. Don't know what you're talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about, K9. You're like, oh, she's a murderer because I think the same way and I'm a murderer. Anyway, continuing on. The Poughkeepsie Tapes is a documentary woman? The woman movie. I skipped over and read the next one. We love this red-headed woman. Hell yeah. No, it's not like that. Interesting. It's just really noticeable. I think, I'm not gonna comment on the fact that she said that. I was like, wow, this is just like you for real. You notice these. I did notice these things, but I noticed it in relation to you, so save it for the judge. Yeah, save it for the judge, K9. You're good. Sorry, using my leftist still. That's okay. You can just initial in those spots. I took a scenic route home, courtesy of our fine sitting sprawling public transportation, and got in a bit after 11 p.m. This is sorry, K9. Anyway, had myself a thorough shower, drank a glass of milk, did some stretching, made sure my phone was on. Time went by evenly. Around 1:40 a.m., a posting for public defender work came up. Decent rate, since it was so late and so urgent. I had wagered correctly that the boyfriend would have enough sense to ask for a lawyer, enough debt that he'd need to be provided one. Oh my god! Girl. All I had to do was stay awake. There wasn't much competition after 1 in the morning. Okay, where else? Here and here. How did I phrase it earlier? Criminal defense attorneys aren't exactly flush with customers. Why wouldn't I take on a job where I already knew more than the cops? It would have been easy to convince Carlos to plead out. I would have gotten paid the same too. But easy is dangerous. Carlos was, of course, innocent, so his conviction would never be airtight. There'd be doubts, questions, appeals. Maybe even fans, depending on his looks. More attention on AHK and his crimes. More headaches. A cold case rotting in the very far back of the public's awareness is always preferable to one open and shut in haste. Now, with no more murders matching HK's MO, there won't be any additional public pressure to find a culprit. Now Heartbreaking just starved to death, out of sight and mind like any other fluke in the system. Almost done. Getting involved with the case this intimately does have its risks. Hell, I might have even overdone things here or there. Like lighting up a smoke inside an interrogation room, just to make doubly sure I didn't still smell of gunpowder myself. That's... I love her. This is great. That London fellow seemed more fixated on it than I would have liked, but obviously everything turned out rosy. It's worth it for the finality of it all. I like that they're highlighting the gloves here. I like you following the process and going, yeah, that's what I would have done, can't I? This is... I love you. I love murderous women. This is great. Seeing the authorities' failings from the best seat in the house? That's just a bonus. Thanks again, Morgan, for everything. I'm sure Diana's grateful too. Funny. I didn't even know her name. Just your time! Twat. PvP enabled chat. Something the matter? No, sorry, it's just I was mad when I left the apartment. I know she was too. So when she died, death was instantaneous, Carlos. I can't imagine that she was in any pain. In fact, I can guarantee she was dead before she hit the ground. No, I know, but I just keep thinking that she must have died angry at me. That means she must have died hating me. You don't have to... Oh. I wanna... Hold on. Let me save. Present evidence. To tell you the truth, Carlos, there's something I've been wondering about myself. What is it? Something I noticed in the ARC's data that I didn't quite understand. Oh, it's the medicine. A piece of the puzzle I couldn't fit in anywhere else. But maybe you can make sense of it. Cause it's not, it was his meds. What is the... Where did you find that? That pill organizer was found on the victim. She had it grasped in her hand when she died. Obviously the police added it to the ARCs. It was quickly ruled irrelevant. Seems like it contained triprexazone, prescribed to help modders with phantom itches. They're small tablets, and those are tricky class too for a pill organizer. Could be hard to handle with an unsteady hand. This is so sad. What the... Oh. No one will ever know what she was feeling when she died. Even if they did, feelings are complicated. You can feel angry, happy, and sad all at the same time. But as far as facts are concerned, it appeared that when she died, what she was doing was setting out your medications for the week. I have head and hands. Head and hands. Man. To my eyes, anyway. Yay, murder! Oh man, she died. As it turns out, murders do in fact have to have a victim. Crazy. Man. Long night. I was too far just now, practically rubbing it in his face. It's not like I care about his feelings. I doubt I'll ever see him again. But overstepping like that is pure hubris. And hubris invites a downfall. So why did I even bother? Would have given the guy enough closure to probably not think too further. Yeah. Is it a kind, it's a kind thing, sure. But you know, why does she give a fuck? She doesn't. Hubris. It was the last piece of the puzzle, I suppose. I'll just need to show more restraint next time. But there won't be a next time for Heartbreak. Guns in custody. There's no more bullets left. There won't be a seventh victim. There won't be any more leads to pursue. The media will move on to their next obsession. I'll move on to my next MO. And no one will ever... Fuck! District Attorney Rockford. Hey girl. Is this Yuri? Sorry, can I try that again? I'm so proud. By all means. So the brown hair, similar Iowa thing. Hey girl, why were you killing people, girls with brown hair? Counselor Morgan. Morning, noon, or night, you're always so put together. Yeah, no, this is definitely why she was killing women with brown hair, brown eyes. God, what? Thank you. I don't get it. How do you sleep at night? Pardon? You do white noise, aromatherapy? Whatever you're doing, I need to steal it. God, I must have bags under my eyes dark enough for the dumpsters. Assistant District Attorney Emma Rockford. Can gay people flirt properly? What the hell? No, never. She's a prosecutor, the lawyer who argues for the state in court, trying to prove a defendant's guilt. And despite her sometimes unkempt appearance, she's probably the sharpest person to fill the position in decades. You meet another attorney and immediately assume Yuri. In my defense on this one, a friend was in here earlier saying enjoy the Yuri version of Ace Attorney, so yeah. This is partially why. But a little bit, maybe so. When you kill 6 other women with brown hair, brown eyes, that's kind of you're one to talk is funny as fuck. I should know, since I haven't beaten her once. Worse yet, she has the remarkable ability to compartmentalize all that adversarial energy and only bring it out in the courtroom. License handler, flirt normally. It's part of what makes her good at her job. You say that, and then I did say the like, well, the murder wasn't intimate enough thing, and I was like, that reminds me of K9, so take that as you will, man. And hard for me to read. Should I buy a new mattress? What have I got you doing at this ungodly hour, Emma? Oh, well, actually, I'm here for you. Me? Your client was a suspect in the Heartbreak killings. That's my case. Well, then you must have been relieved finding out that you won't have to go to trial against me. No, why would I be worried about going up against you? That's so rude. That has nothing to do with flirting? Yeah, okay, man. It's always the unintended barbs with her. So, you're working with those detectives? Yeah, London and the new girl, Reyes. They've been reporting to me in preparation for trial. Preparation for trial? That seems ambitious. I guess they gave you the rundown. They've been doing everything they can, but it's hard to catch a killer who leaves behind so little. It's hard to kill while leaving so little behind. So Reyes told you that they had HK in custody and you popped out of bed all excited to run down here? Haha, hardly. I haven't slept in 40 hours. Too much on my mind. So when I heard about a case with a single female victim shot through the heart, yeah, my ears perked up. But that's about all. Oh? I mean, Carlos Flat, a serial killer? The same serial killer that's outsmarted the state for weeks. She's not using his middle name. He was found with the murder weapon. But I can answer that any number of ways. What are we... It could have been Flat. I mean, if it's any number of ways, then I feel like the most convincing one is probably the either the rental or the photo. We'll go with the photo. I feel like that's the most interesting one. That may be true, but then I glanced at the report. You glanced at it? No gunpowder residue on him or his clothes, right? Too remorseful, too apologetic in that note. Whatever it was about, his dominant arm modded, documented sensitivity issues, never could have made shots that clean, not without getting close enough to leave scorch marks. Not to mention, he's too tall for the ballistic sentry angles, and probably too heavy to not leave imprints. Girl. Oh, this is beautiful. She got all that from a glance. But I'm sure a competent lawyer like yourself will have pointed all that out the minute you walked in here. Of course! Worst part is she's not even being sarcastic. Yeah, of course it's gonna have been him. Long-term relationship, physically imposing, argumentative, so not the type to bottle things up. You didn't match the profile. Profile? Yeah, Right, sorry, you've never heard of it. You've probably never heard of it. I know what a goddamn profile is. A profile is a reconstruction of a criminal's psychology based on evidence from their crimes. Kind of fallen out of fashion for the last few decades. Not much need to guess about the why when 99 times out of 100, the who is caught on camera. Or before they even leave the house. I've had to find some real fossils and oddballs to get advice on how to go about it, but I think I'm getting the hang of it. I like her outfit, she's cute. So this profiling, is it some kind of investigative technique? The theory is that a crime can tell you something about the nature of the person who committed it. Stabbing, overkill, points to passion, rage, lust, they probably knew their victim. Poison and guns, meanwhile, suggest they can't overpower their victims physically. And then there's the things you can assume about nearly all serial offenders. Childhood trauma, prior criminal record, few or no meaningful attachments. There's a lot of recurring themes in their stories. The detectives say that HK doesn't leave evidence. So how much can his crimes possibly tell you? That he's diligent, almost perfect. Highly intelligent, painstakingly organized, and with enough criminal connections to get his hands on an untagged firearm. It's rare to see her this animated outside of the courtroom. It's almost like she's enjoying herself. Gay people can never flirt normally. What the hell? Sheltered house cat who's picked up the scent of a mouse for the first time. A lone wolf, educated, but or playfully lethal instincts coming to life. Probably overqualified or undervalued. Though I'm not thrilled about the fact that in that metaphor I would be the... Know what I mean? Definitely! And considering the marksmanship, detective said that HK would have needed insider information on optics. So does that mean heartbreaks in law enforcement? Consider this right. What if it's straight people who flirt boring? This is shit. Never in 10 billion years. Oh. Antisocial, independent, despises authority. That'd be like a stallion applying for a job on a merry-go-round. I'd be kicking kids in the head after the first full rotation. Right, that's exactly how I'd put it. There must be some connection to the police, though. Maybe secondary or tertiary. These types can't help but insert themselves. Insert themselves? I don't do anything even resembling that. Wait, if HK's not a cop, how did they know about the blackout timing? Crime meta-statistics analysis, probably. Pardon? Take the emergency response times from across the city and map them out. Look for brief spikes and delays. Chart out the dips in. Sorry, technical, I know. But all the requisite data is publicly available. With a map, a spreadsheet, a calculator. Anyone could reverse engineer the timing if they wanted to. That is such an unpleasant thought, Emma. Well, at least this heartbreak maniac will slow down now that he's lost his weapon. He didn't lose it, he chose to leave it behind. That tells me he's confident he can do just fine without it. And it just makes me even more certain that these aren't his only kills. Were there other shootings with the same MO? No, not that I found. Other victims that fit the description? No. But I'm not overly focused on the victim's appearance anyway. I mean, these 6 victims all look like each other, but they also look like a lot of people. That's true. Hell. They kind of look like me. Do they? Consider him here. Sure, what? You don't see it? I hadn't thought about it. Point is, no one can kill that cleanly when it's their first time. Gay got censored. Getting things that perfect takes practice. So I know that HK must have had a lot more than 6 occasions to practice, Morgan. Y'all, I need to manually unflag the gay comments. And that's why I think heartbreak is a misnomer. You've got something catchier in mind? I just don't think shooting them in the heart has any particular significance. Oh my god! It's flagging everything with gay! If anything, it's a testament to their accuracy and their cold-blooded efficiency. The best possible use of 6 untagged bullets. 6 kills guaranteed, no matter what kind of life support mods they were packing. Their real signature isn't the bullets or the gun, it's the perfection. That's hard to wrap your head around. I'm saying that these 6 murders were just a fluke, a slip up, a mistake. Exactly, a mistake. They got too clean, too efficient, and now they've got the public's attention. It's no wonder they're so pissed. We're talking about the crime scene? Yeah, probably threw the detectives for a loop, right? Based on what you've said, I don't blame them. Whoever dressed that room doesn't seem like the smooth operator you've been describing. Yeah, I'm probably probably too enthusiastic. This is amazing. No, I'm really enjoying this. This is great. I'm going to probably put the quads up. This is excellent. On the contrary, I don't follow. This was the last bullet, their last shot. The other 5 were perfect, so if anything was out of place this time around, they must have thrown one hell of a temper tantrum. You make them sound like a child. Childish, and cowardly, and two-faced. Someone who hates to lose almost as much as they love to win. Your profile tell you all that? That? No. That part's just... takes one to know one. So, to summarize, you're looking for a cold-blooded, faceless, perfectionist killer who think has no persistent MO or victim type. In a city with an 8-digit population. Well, good luck! I don't need luck, I only need more information. Well, I'm sure the city would be happy to provide you with more resources. No, Morgan. I mean, I need more crime scenes. Oh. Sad truth is, if Heartbreak walked away today, I'd never catch them. Only way my net narrows is if they keep piling up bodies. Not a very fair trade, is it? No, it isn't. But getting screwed over is a given. It's a deal with the devil. Fair enough. Woof. Okay, that rant was pretty morbid and detailed. I need to get out more, or sleep more. Or sleep less, but harder. You think a higher thread count would help? Don't worry about it. I'm always happy to listen to you ramble. It's a lot more pleasant than having to face you in the courtroom. Hell of a thing to say to the killer? Yeah, no. Hey, is this... Okay, I have no clues about the following episodes. Is this where Morgan decides, you know what, time to start leaving crime scenes for realsies? Hey girl, yeah? Sorry, but that's the adversarial process. So no hard feelings, yeah? No hard feelings. We're both just doing what we do. I could use a cup of coffee. How about you? Don't tempt me. If you fall asleep face first onto the table, I won't even take a picture. Okay. Just don't expect this to make a difference next time we're at each other's throats. Heartbreak won't claim any more victims. In 2 weeks, the media will have moved on to the next sensation, and the police will have moved on to cases they actually stand a chance of closing. It's what people do. But Emma is different. Oh, it's Yuri. It's so. Wait. Let's go, Yuri. She'll set it aside and work a dozen other cases, never bringing it up. But a private corner of that frustratingly sharp mind of hers will continue to whittle away at it. Never finishing, but never quitting either. So I can't afford to take my eyes off of her. As long as that's the case, I may as well try to enjoy the view. Yeah? The view? You were looking directly at her. Okay. We've done it. We've gotten through episode 0. Almost. KSL 2. Oh. Android? Which means you're going to be living with my friend for a while. For how long? I'm sorry, I don't know. Ooh. Ah! How cutie. There's no need to look that upset over it. My face fairly moved. It may as well have been a blatant pound from where I'm sitting. Yeah, like that. This friend of yours, they're trustworthy? Absolutely. In fact, I trust them more than anyone. Hey, come on, it'll be fun. Is this the... I can't open my phone here. Is this the guy, I'm getting the sense that this is the main engineer guy that was mentioned very briefly. And one of, like, maybe the new worm androids? Really? Really, educational too. I think you could stand to learn a lot from someone like Morgan. Yippee! I need to stop saying yippee at really inopportune times. But this was really good. Patrick MCF 3D modeling by Founders. That was really good. You should say yippee all the time, I think. It's like, you know, it's one thing to say yippee on my own stream, and then there's another thing to say yippee on the Call of Cthulhu stream, where there's like 2 guys that are like middle-aged and up. Now that was opportune. Thank you. But then I like became deeply aware yesterday when I was in my Call of Cthulhu game, like, oh my god, one of these guys I've never fucking talked to, and I'm just saying yippee. But yeah. This was really good. Every time is an opportune time to say yippee. So true, so true. Okay. Yes! Very nice. I think that I will probably be playing this again next— what the fuck? You're the smartest person I know, Morgan, when it comes to people. Personally, I think it's cruel to bring something that flawed into the world. Criminal defense attorney, and we're at a crime scene. I think we can get— I've never stolen anything that wasn't already compromised. Pardon, the company will have you set for life and after too. Can't tell you how many musicians I've seen screwed over by a big smile and fat signing bonus. This is not just a lawyer job thing. You dress like a doorman on the weekends too. Prior to determining fault, determining cause of death is like a breath of fresh air. Yeah, this is all teaser stuff. Company wheels don't stop spinning for anything. Can't hope to keep this quiet for very long. It's a million times more likely than the alternative that Heartbreak could ever stop himself from killing. Father said that you owed him. I don't do anything out of the goodness of my heart, but when I take a job, I never half-ass it. Yay! I really like all of the character designs that just came by. Those were all nice. Yippee! Okay. Alrighty. Episode 0 results. If I'm being so for real, I forgot that I'm not just like, that this is in fact a full-on game that I'm just vibing with and not just I'm reading a book. The writing is really good. 29 credit earned. Congrats! You finished episode 0 with 29 credit. You've also unlocked concept art and bonus scenarios based on your highest score for episode 0. 29 okay. We have phone charms! Oh my god. This is gorgeous. But okay. Alright. I think that'll be where I'm going to go ahead and end off stream because I've been streaming for 3.5 hours. I was expecting for it to go a bit longer. Was not expecting it did not feel like 3 hours. This felt like a 2-hour kind of stream, but my voice is kind of dying now. So let me start ending things off. It's actually 3 hours and 30 minutes. Usually my stream time is about what time is it now? It's almost 4 p.m. Usually I try to end at latest around 3, but if that's only if it's a long stream and I started an hour late. But yeah, I mean, I think I'll try and stream probably the next couple of episodes as well. Cause I don't really have anything the next couple of Sunday. I'm lying. I have graduation. I have a graduation ceremony in I think 2 weeks, so I won't be there for that, but I might stream after. We'll see. But yeah, will I be streaming this Friday? Cause that's my normal schedule. But we all know that my normal schedule has kind of been fucked recently because of things. Oh my god, wait. The episode 1 art. Hold up. Let me switch back to the normal. It won't let me switch back over. Okay, well, I guess that we're not allowed to see it. I don't know. Let me see. Okay, well, just know that the episode 1 art is beautiful and you will be seeing it the next time I play, which I'll try. Definitely next week, I should be able to do it. I'm trying to decide on what I'll be doing. What am I doing on the 8th? I know that I'm doing stuff on... I don't think I'm doing anything in the evening on the 15th. So I will probably be... Next bit of stream schedule stuff will probably be... Oh, hey! I guess that we're switching over now. After I switched out of studio mode. Thank you, OBS. Anyway, so now you get to see episode 1. Yippee! But, I think the plan will be to... Maybe... What do I have this Friday? I don't think I have anything on Friday. So I can either stream it on Friday, which is at my 7 p.m. CST time, versus I start at 11. I try to start at 11 on Sundays, but if I start at 11 on Sundays, then we will miss the 17th. But then I'll be back on the 24th, perhaps? Either way, 8th or 10th for Of the Devil again. I'm asking this mostly because looks at you, Canine. I know that this is better for your sleep The other episodes are quite a bit longer. Okay, I see, I see. Thank you for the information. God damn it. It's fine. Okay, I can stay. Okay. Well, at the very least, I know that my Friday streams are, you know, weekend things. So, I'll probably stream on. I'll keep on streaming this for the next couple of weeks probably, unless something comes up. So, I will be back on the 8th with another one of these at 7 p.m. CST. And before we go to actual ending screen and stuff, let me pull up Connect 4. Let's go. Let me get Connect 4 pulled up really quick. And then we shall. I realized that I'm going to open Clip Studio Paint. Let me hide my actual source first. There's nothing insane on there, but I do have my previous Call of Cthulhu sketches from yesterday still up there. Okay, open. Now where did I put the Clip Studio Paint file? You're getting Cruel Barbie's thesis while I'm like setting this up and ending things. Okay. Okay, where is there's Connect 4. So last time we had Twaj doing it. The most beautiful Connect 4 thing ever. I'm going to grab maybe a little bit of water. Wolf, send me your first move and I will be right back. I was serious when I was saying that I'd be right back. Hello. Let me go ahead and mark you down. Let's see. You have 4 here? Okay. You do this. I always forget, one of the things I always forget with the redeem stuff is that there is like a separate thing that you are supposed to like, what's the word? Click as like, oh, you did finish it. Anyway, I'm going to 3. I'm excited to play more of the Devil though. So how are you doing, Wolf? Once you send me your next move. I also wonder if there's I wonder if I could set up something that doesn't end up fucking doxing me, like program-wise. Should play Connect 4 with people a bit easier. I bet I could. No, if I make. Is there Connect 4 online? That like, hold on. There is like an online Connect 4. Oh, you're going for it again? Haha, 4. Okay, and then let's see. Where am I going? I'm gonna go for this time. Okay, I did. Oh, the Devil really 7? Okay. I shall go into 6 then. Did the Of the Devil really? Sorry, I'm like, my brain is on both Of the Devil and also this Connect 4 game. But did it really only release in 2025? It really feels like something. Hold on. No, wait. When did I... Hold on. It's saying the release date for episode 1 and 2, I think, say this. Goddamn. 3? Okie doke. Sounds good. Okay, where am I going? I'm going to go on 6. I guess that means that I've only had it wish listed for like what? Not wish listed, but on my Steam library for what? How long have I had this? Why is there Barbie in the background? It was in my recommended and I felt like playing it. This clearly is the best way to end off stream. Connect 4 and Cruel Barbie's thesis, obviously. Of course. Yeah, I think if the episodes are long, like yeah. I'm just wrapping up here. 3, okay. Okay, I'm going to go. Where am I gonna go? I'm gonna go here. Connect 4 well? Yes, of course. I'll do my best. Okay, Wolf, your turn. Have I really... Of the Devil has been sitting in my library for approximately 1 billion years. So, okay. Let's see. We got that. And then... Going to go here. Went to 7. Is there on Steam, is there a thing that lets you know when you installed something? Release date February 6th. 2? Okay. I'm going to go to here. Went to 4. Your turn. I guess I have had it in my properties. Install files. I assume that it probably doesn't like actually show when you get the game. Add to library. Right? 2. Okay. I'm going to go here. Your turn. I'm trying to remember because I think the way I found of the Devil. Oh wow, I can feel my throat like kind of messed up. I think that the way I found of the Devil was probably through Tumblr. I think someone worked it in like a Danganronpa tag or something along those lines. was like 6 and then 2. Yeah, no, it's just been those two twos. Wait, right? Have you... Okay, I was making sure I didn't miss something. I can feel the gears turning in Wolf's head for where to go next. It is. I went on 7. Is it my turn? Yeah, it is your turn. Where are you going? I was like, Instagram? I don't think we're doing Instagram. You know what? Hold on. I'm getting tired of Barbie. We're going to Looping the Rooms. There's this specific Looping the Rooms cover that I enjoy. 3? Okay. I obviously also have to go 3 there. That's fine. And now it is your turn again, Wolf. Okay, let's see. Two. I see, okay. Going here then. So I have to... Your turn again? I keep on thinking about this song because I really want to make animation to this Loki. Okay. I am going to go. Where are we going to go? I am going to go. Let's think. I'm gonna go here. 2, 7. Seven? Okay. And where am I going now? Let's think. I'm gonna go in 4. What else do I got in here immediately? Another 7? Okay. Let me think. Where am I gonna go? I'll go 2. Your turn. Me going and... Oh, I didn't finish Wordle. Hold up. I can do Wordle while I wait as well. New York Times, come here. If you see my mouse on this screen, I don't think you will, but I wasn't sure which thing to do. 2? Okay. Alright, I will go ahead and go with a good old... Let me see. Me checking to make sure I'm not going anywhere. Okay. Your turn. Six. Okey doke. I love this part of Connect 4, where you turn to the eternal struggle. You know where I'm going. Pick your poison. Hello, Butcher Vanity. Okay, let's see. What's going on in Wordle? 5? Okie doke. And then, of course, I'm also going 5. Yeah, there's nothing yet. Five and then you win. Yep. Yippee! Good work. We've Connect 4'd it. You've won. That was a long game. There's a lot of places to drop into. I forgot about that section right there, admittedly. Yay! Oh, that was really close. There's a lot of spots here. Okay. Alright, I need to give my voice a rest. Thank you for coming to stream, everyone. We have done it. We've connected. I should have pulled up my silly little thing. I also forgot about it. Yeah. I think I miscalculated slightly because I thought that it would be that and then I don't know. My brain miscalculated some part of this. But yeah, I shall go ahead and let my voice rest for a while now. Thank you all. Thank you all for showing up. Let me go ahead and transition here. Okay. Bye bye. Thank you for coming to stream, and I think I will be trying to do a stream on this Friday at 7 p.m. CST, so I can continue of the Devil, which I assume will probably take double the length. I had to